No worries, Chris. Nearly ready to go.
This sports broadcast is proudly sponsored by your locally owned Telstra stores, Quadrant, Kingborough and the Brisbane Street Mall.
Welcome everybody to the Twin Ovals in Kingston. It's round 3 action of the TSL, and it's going to be a fantastic game here today between Launceston, who had their first win in many a year last week over their northern rivals, North Launceston, and the Kingborough Tigers, who had a narrow loss in their first outing against North Hobart. Going to be a fantastic game. Conditions are perfect. The ground is a pitcher, has no breeze, not bad temperature for this time of year, so we're looking forward to a great TSL game here today at the Twin Ovals. Welcome my fellow commentators. Firstly to my left, Anthony Osborne. G'day, Anthony.
G'day Dave, yes, great to be here. As you said, beautiful conditions at the Twin Ovals. The ground, as always, looking a picture, and as you mentioned, coming into this game, the Blues on a high after that win over North Launceston, the Tigers looking to make amends after a loss to the Demons.
Yeah, look, the first time I've been here, mate, it's a fantastic facility.
It is, absolutely, and even as you drive in, you can see all the other sporting precincts in the area as well. It really is a hub for this community, and the Tigers have, over the last couple of years, have been a tough team to play down here as well, so they'll be looking to really make amends after that loss last weekend. And obviously we have the restrictions on the crowds that are here, but there is certainly a good number in that'll be looking forward to a good contest. On
the stats today, to my right today, on the team stats, welcome to Dave Gruber.
Yeah, g'day Dave, great to be here. Beautiful afternoon here, and great facility, should be a great afternoon.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And there's a laid out in the Launceston team, quite a significant one too, Ant.
Yeah, absolutely. Fletcher Seymour is out for the Blues. Jack Donnellan coming in for him, but I know we were talking off air just before, Dave, how integral the Blues midfield was in the win last week, and Fletcher Seymour is obviously a crucial part of that. So a big loss for them, especially going up against a team boasting the likes of Kieran Lovell, but Jack Donnellan's certainly a handy TSL player as well.
Absolutely. The conditions here today, it's unusually a still day. Is there a scoring end here, Anthony, for what you've observed in the past?
Yeah, it can very much depend on the wind. It's really quite exposed up here at the Twin Ovals, so it can vary game to game. Often they do say going to the right-hand side of screen or the radio dial might be the scoring end, but it really can vary depending on how the conditions do play out. At the moment, it is quite still at this second, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does pick up a little bit later in the day.
Mitch Thorpe during the week was quite insistent that there's no easy games now in the TSL. Every week is a challenge. We've seen some close contests, and what we talked before about last week was fantastic. The round of footy and the closeness of the results, the contests were really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the competition itself last weekend was a really key showing as just how even and close this competition is. The Tigers, also Trent Baumler during the week, saying they really want to have Launceston's respect after not getting over the top of them in that elimination final last year. They'll be looking to really make amends and really show that they are a contender heading into this disrupted but still really exciting 2020 season.
It'll be a great battle in the ruck, isn't it, Anthony, between Auckland and Gardner?
Yeah, Marcus Gardner, he came back into the TSL after a bit of time in the Old Scholars the year before that and really did impress, taking that number one mantle. And Auckland, with the Sandford experience behind him as well, he's keeping Hamish Leadham out of the side. So So plenty is going to be riding on that contest in the middle.
And just quickly, we've got a milestone game today.
Yeah, Jack Bilson playing his 50th senior game for the Tigers. He's back in Kingborough colours this year after a couple of years away in Victoria. So good to see him back in the Tigers setup and playing his 50th game.
Kick us off for City Park Radio Sport. Here's Anthony Osborne.
Ball is bounced in the middle, as Dave mentioned. Marcus Gardner and Auckland going against each other. Gardner wins it down, but only as far as Auckland. Soup Campbell gets the ball for the Tigers, but only as far as Jacob Boyd at half-back for the Blues. He'll take his moment just to set things up. Just moves the ball inside. Assessing his options there is Joby Harper. He'll be a key player today. Goes to the outer side as the Blues slowly build it up methodically to half forward. Tiger player in the hull, but they're able to dig the ball out. Going across to Marcus Gardner. He's unable to complete the mark. He's got Auckland hot on his tail. Sam Rice comes in for reinforcement. Goes right back to McCulloch. Back to Rice, who's tackled as he tries to kick the ball. The umpire says not holding the ball as the ball is hacked out of defence for the Tigers.
It's at half forward now for the Blues. Taken by Tyrrell. Quick kick inside 50. Riley has the back position. Thumped away though by the Tigers defence. Denellen at the fall. Gets taken in the tackle. Did you have prior opportunity, says the umpire. So it will be a ball up. Right in the attacking right forward pocket for Launceston. Listen to City Park Radio Sport 96.5, 103.7 and the TSL live stream. Simulcast today as it's out of bounds. Deep in defence once again, and Duggan there getting the hand to the ball last.
Interesting to see Jay Blackberry starting in the midfield. Dave, seen him play quite a bit forward of late as well.
And I think that's because of the absence of Seymour. He'll play more today in that midfield role. Boundary throw in 20 metres around from the right behind post. Thorpe front position. Gardner does well, gets it down. Kick by Clifford up towards the wing. Bounce evades Pierce there. Now it's picked up by Tyrrell. He's caught in a good tackle. Tyler Carter working hard. Nobody can take clear possession. So another ball up. Slightly attacking side of the wing for the Blues. No score as yet after 2 minutes.
Kieran Lovell unattended at this ball up. One band down there by Auckland in the way of Palfreyman. Sam Rice immediately wraps him up and we'll have a repeat stoppage. Attacking side of the wing for the Blues. It looks like Kieran Lovell is, as we expected pre-game, Jared Dakin is going to him at the moment. So did a really good job on Taylor Whitford last week, did Jared Dakin, as Will Campbell tries to clear the ball only as far as Palfreyman. Sam Rice able to dig the ball out, but the Blues are in a dangerous position now. Driving ball inside 50, just evades Mitch Thorpe, who lays a fantastic tackle on his direct opponent. The umpire had no choice but to reward the Launceston coach. Holding the ball, Mitch Thorpe is going to have the first real shot on goal for the afternoon.
A great tackle by Thorpe. Back in the side today. He rested himself last week. I think it was a team balance sort of thing. But he's back in today to try and stretch that Tigers back line.
Yeah, it looks like Blake McCulloch with the job on him early. He's been shut down in the past by Micah Reynolds a couple of times, who isn't playing for the Tigers at the moment. But Blake McCulloch, he's got a big job on his hands today. So Mitch Thorpe, no real angle. Be kicking from about 40 metres. The ball is on the way. It's quite a short, stabby little shot on goal to the right-hand side for a minor score. So Launceston coach opens the scoring with a solitary behind. Launceston one behind, the Tigers yet to score. 3.5 gone in the opening term.
Long kick out from defence right to the centre circles. That was Jared Drew with that. Contested Mark Gardner and House. No one paid. Still a scrimmage now just near the centre circle, the larger of them. It'll be a ball up. So just the one behind so far. Tight start. I'll give you some of the earlier game scores in just a moment with our next stoppage. As Auckland gets the tap out, Will Campbell's in there. Sliding in is Denellen. Handball forward of the contest. Lovell, those Sharks it. He can't get rid of it. Dakin has got that job on Lovell. We predicted that, Anthony. As I think it's going to be another ball up here. And we'll get to those earlier scores in the under-18s. Launceston 11-13-79 defeated the Tigers 3-5-23. And in the Development League, Launceston 4-11-35 defeated the Tigers 4-2-26 in a very tight contest. Free kick from the stoppage. Will Campbell will take it. So Campbell, defensive side of the centre circles, kicks nicely inside 50, although Casey Brown is there. Coming across the attack, a good mark is Tuthill or Hodge. I get them mixed up, and this time it's Hodge. It's a Miller Hodge. He's going to switch the ball to the outer side.
Industrial ball there from Hodge, looking for Dakin, who is in fringe, unable to complete the mark, but he will get a free kick at half-back for the Blues. They're just assessing their options here, is that both teams just trying to get a bit of a feel for the tempo. Dakin called to play on by the umpire, driving ball down the wing. Never really in the contest for anyone to take, but the Tigers have some numbers around the ball. As players converge, the Tigers able to bring the ball back into the middle through Kieran Lovell. Again, unable to exercise an effective kick. Will Campbell does scoop on the loose ball and feeds it back to Lovell, who drives it inside 50. A 2-on-1 here for the Blues. Tigers again with the numbers. Just around the corner sort of ball into the forward pocket there from the Tigers. That was courtesy of Jack Bilson in his 50th game, but the Blues able to repel. Jared Drew flying for the mark, but it will be out of bounds for a throw-in.
Jared Drew played a fantastic game last week. He's took mark after mark in that defensive line. So bounty thrown, attacking side of the wing. One behind Launceston, yet to score Kingborough Tigers. A tight start. Good bounty thrown by the Bev Show. Oh no, it falls a bit short. I take that back. It's going to be another one. So rinse and repeat here on the western side of the Twin Ovals. First visit here for City Park Radio, our 21st venue that we broadcast sport from in our time since 2013. I'll be bringing you the local sport. We'll be at Windsor Park next week, Launceston versus Lauderdale. As in the boundary thrown this time, Auckland pads it down to Blackberry, shrugs a tackle, gets a kick away under pressure. Front position right, taps it down to himself. Paddles it a second time, gets it off Knightley to Dakin, who's held by the jump up. Play on, says the umpire. Sideways handball's a good one to Harper. 60 out towards the goal square. That's Riley, sorry. Riley's got it over the back. He can't quite get the handle on it. Still a chance for Launceston. Repelled there by Barley Gordon, but he gets it straight back to Joby Harper. And he's within range. He's a big kick, is Joby Harper. He kicked the first goal of the game last week, I beg your pardon. And he's got a chance now to do the same here at Twin Ovals.
Yeah, 24 touches in round one and 21 touches last weekend. He's in some ball-winning form and looks to be starting the same way.
Early favourite for the Ulster Lynch medal, you'd say. Running in round three. Harper, 45-degree angle, 45 out. It's fading away to the left. Might not quite make the distance. Front position, is that a mark? Strong mark in front. Waits the player gets up. And that is Michael Musica, who's now plays on around the corner. And that's the first goal of the game to Michael Musica. He's returned back to TSL footy last week. Had a great game against the Northern Bombers. And he gets the first goal on the board here today. Launceston 1-1-7. Kingborough yet to score. Strong mark.
Absolutely. Strong mark from him and a really strong mark from Joby Harper prior to that as well. Good to see Michael Musica back in the TSL. Welcome addition for Mitch Thorpe and his Blues, and immediately impacting this game with the first goal of the afternoon.
Just a bit of grunt work, wasn't it, around that forward flank there, and they just forced it forward. Harper influential. So 1-1-7, yet to score. Here's Anthony Osborne for City Park Radio Sport.
Back in the middle, Gardner and Auckland again to go to battle. Auckland decisively wins it down, but only as far as the Tigers midfielder. The Blues quickly hack the ball inside 50. Elijah Reardon playing off half back. Taps the ball only as far as Blackberry, who's wrapped up in a great tackle from Reardon. The ball just gets free. No umpire whistle, so play on. The Blues putting the Tigers under the pump here. Dancing through some traffic is Musica. Dishes the handball off to Thorpe on his trusty left boot. In the goal square is his teammate, Dylan Riley. Kicks the easiest of goals, and that's just, again, the Blues forcing the ball forward, putting the Tigers midfield, so the Tigers defence under all sorts of pressure. And in the end, the class just came to the fore.
Absolutely, and that's a really classy forward line at the moment they've got going there with Riley, Musica, Thorpe. All three are dangerous around goal. Alec Wright playing more of a centre-half forward role. An early advantage here to the Blues. They kicked two quick goals after a bit of an arm wrestle in the first 10 minutes or so. It's now 2-1-13. Tigers yet to score. Thanks to our sponsors, your locally owned Telstra stores, Brisbane Street, Moore Quadrant, Long Kings Meadows. For your support, we'll keep an eye on the other scores in the TSL as they unfold. We've got a couple of 1:30 starts and a 2 o'clock start. There's Blackberry working hard underneath. He's laid on by Lockie Clifford. The ball up slightly attacking side of the circles for the Tigers. Up goes the ball. Auckland gets a tap out, not to advantage at Shark by Lovell. He kicks inside the 50. Front position was Sorty. Falls to Miller. Can't get an effective handball away for the Blues. Fighting hard there is O'Neill, the boy from Signet, who impressed last week. And there'll be a ball up right on the edge of the centre square. Tigers inside 50s groups. What have we got so far?
Inside 50s, 5 to Launceston, 3 to the Tigers.
Okay, so 5-3 early days. Still a chance here for the Tigers. Won't get an effective possession. A lot of players around the ball, as you can probably see, those watching the stream. So ball up 40 metres out directly in front of the Tigers' goal. They badly need one back here, Anthony.
Certainly do. They've got some firepower down there. I'm really excited to see Cooper Sorty back at TSL level. So that ball wrapped up immediately. A good tackle laid by George O'Neill. Have a repeat stoppage just inside the forward 50 for the Tigers. Unable to really get any deep, meaningful entries, but Tyler Carter might just change that. Dishes the ball out to Elijah Reardon. Shrugs off one. Inside-out kick on the check side of the right-hand boot into the goal square. Punch through for a minor score. Just feel like something's going to happen whenever Elijah Reardon's near the footy, Dave.
Hopefully he takes another big hanger. We're excited about that, Anthony, as Blackberry takes the mark in the back pocket. Beautiful kick to Dakin, who found a bit of space on defensive 50. Goes sideways to Boyd on the far side. Boyd kicks up the wing. Contest there. Riley wins out. Kicked a goal a minute ago. Over to Harper. Handball over the top now to Holt. Good link up footy here by the Blues. Wright will be met. Can't get the handball away. Ball says the crowd. Wright might have been a touch lucky there as the ball ricocheted back into his midriff. But it'll be a ball up on attacking 50 now for the Blues. And gee, they moved that beautifully from defence on that occasion. Up goes the throw up. Thorpe up against Gardner. Straight down to the bottom of the contest. Ball up, Dakin emerges. So Blackberry playing on ball as we said. No Seymour today. Donnell in the late inclusion for the Blues. They work it out now through O'Neill. Kicks blindly and Holt takes a good second grab mark, does he? Rice knocked it out of his hands. No 50. Holt now on the far side of the Twin Ovals. Kicks inside 50. Oh, big fly there for Riley. Kadomski was there for the Tigers. And Tigers player picks it up. We're a long way away from us here in our commentary area. And it's going to be a ball up. Deep in attack now for the Blues.
So forward pocket here for Launceston. The ball goes up. Mitch Thorpe competing against Gardner in the ruck. Roving the ball were the Blues. But Elijah Reardon tackles Jared Dakin out of bounds for another throw-in. Dakin, I know he's playing that stopping role, but he just has the capacity to win his own footy and do things with it as well. He was so great for the Blues towards the pointy end of last season. One standout game for the Devils as well. That ball comes in again. Gardner and Thorpe. Gardner decisively wins it down looking for a runner, but the Blues have the numbers. Blackberry, an inside-out kick towards the goal square, but the Tigers have some numbers as McCulloch just hoists it to half back. Carter is the target. The ball just bumbling around between different players. Kieran Lovell is content to run that one out of bounds, so we'll have a throw in just outside attacking 50 for Launceston. Both teams just feeling each other out at the moment. Launceston looking to really move the ball into their attacking area quick. It's putting the Tigers' defence under a lot of pressure. Ball comes in. Gardner just disposes of Thorpe and the umpire agrees. It's going to be a free kick to Mitch Thorpe right on the paint of 50. We always see him really wheel around and try and launch these, Dave.
So I was going to have a bet with you, Anthony, that he will wheel around on the right here. He'll pretend to take his time and then all of a sudden he'll take off. But well, maybe not.
So no Tigers players have really in a position to stop that run around as well. So see how he goes as he begins his run up. It's going to be well and truly more than 50 metres if he is to make the distance. Just approaches the paint of 50 now, decides just to set it up. In the end, it goes through for a minor score. Almost looked like he was in two minds there, Mitch Thorpe.
It's strange. Yeah, I've seen a couple of shots already hold up in a very, very slight breeze, but that one had good carry. So 2-2, 14 Launceston. Kingborough Tigers one behind 1 point, playing 14 minutes in the first quarter. This is City Park Radio and watching the TSL stream. Pleasure to bring you the action here today. Great conditions from Kingborough. Tigers oval here at the Twin Ovals. It's taken by Gardner. That's a strong mark.
Great grab.
He goes short, dangerous. Marcus Davies, first involvement, plays on. Tackled by Blackberry, gets his kick away nicely to Rice. He's at the back end of the centre square. He's got a runner on the outside now. As Tigers now try to build. It's a beautiful pass. Taken over there by Carter. He wheels around on the left foot awkwardly. Punched away by Jacob Boyd. Raving nicely though is Bilson. Handball away to Lockie Watt. His kick semi-smothered. And I think they'll be happy to take it over there. That's the Blues there, number 27 in Jamison House taking the ball out. So a chance for the Tigers. Bounty throw in a dangerous position. High boundary thrown, taken out of the air by Carter. He's tackled straight away though by Harper. Carter still fighting hard. He's got it a second time. This time House lays the tackle. Umpire says too long. And Jamison House will take the free kick there. About 30 metres out from his defensive goal.
Versatile player, Jamison House. I know you've seen more of him than I have, Dave. I remember a couple of years ago, was a really big presence, often playing up on the ball as well.
He's great last week. Grown physically and as a footballer over in South Australia. Dakin now takes the ball. Kicks in towards the centre of the ground. Nice mark taken there by, that is
Lockie Griggs.
Lockie Griggs, thank you. Griggs gets the kick away to Sordy. So they go the Tigers. Beautiful smile there by Tyson Miller. Buttering up though is Duggan. Duggan gets the handball away. Taylor on the bottom of the pack there. He takes the ball right underneath the coach's box. And it's out of bounds. A few Lockies in the, that's why I was hesitated. There's Lockie Griggs,
Lockie Watt, Lockie Clifford. There's
Godomski.
Plenty of Lockies, but a couple of the Tigers are just finding it a bit balmy down here at the Twin Ovals. They're usually running with the long sleeves like a Lockie Griggs, but short sleeves today.
And it's taken there by Auckland. His kick semi-smothered to Nellen. Little quick kick forward here towards Riley. Intelligent thump onto Hines. Leans back on a kick. Here's Thorpe. Front position. Can't quite take it. Raving nice there is Musica. He's got the ball in front of him. He slips over, but he gets it away now to Hines. This way, that way. He's tackled beautifully by Reardon. He should be penalised, and he is. Great tackle, Elijah Reardon. And he just almost want to give it away there, Elijah Reardon, but no, it's going to come back as a free kick. Fantastic tackle under pressure there.
Absolutely. It looks like they've really found a spot for him, Elijah Reardon. Down in defence, he spent a lot of time forward of centre last year. Had flashes, but he looks to be a really solid contributor down there in defence. Highlighted by that massive mark last week as he just pushes the ball to half back. Similar spot where he took that mark, but the ball goes out of bounds. Just see Lockie Griggs taking it up to Tim Auckland there. A bit of a height difference between the two. So this ball in is going to be just attacking side of the wing for the Blues, broadcast side of the ground. Comes in now. Gardner and Auckland engage. Auckland, lovely tap down, but only as far as Will Campbell. Again, plenty of bodies around that ball. It's good to see Will Campbell back. TSL action as well.
Your audio's dropped out.
So out of bounds, Launceston to bring the ball back in through Tyson Miller. The Blues drive the ball inside 50. Marcus Gardner in the hull. Elijah Reardon thought he was going to fly for that ball, opted not to in the end, but the Blues have some runners. Denellen feeds it out. Mitch Thorpe on the left, bounces through. Launceston kick another goal. That's their third. Mitch Thorpe hits the scoreboard after two earlier behinds. Again, Launceston just able to surge the ball forward. Good use of hands from Jack Denellen. Mitch Thorpe, and that trusty left, just snapped it around the body. Thought it may have been potentially in danger of hitting the post, but just squeezed through. Launceston 3-2-20. The Tigers one behind. 18 and a half gone in this opening term. After the Tigers had a couple of forays inside 50, Launceston really make them pay for not capitalising. Again, that surge football inside 50 looks to really be putting the Tigers under the pump. It's back in the middle. Auckland wins that ball down to Palfreyman. Little hack kick out to the wing. Bailey Gordon in pursuit for the Tigers. Immediately met by Brendan Taylor, who just steals the ball from him. Drives the ball inside 50. A one-on-one. Musica and Jared Drew. Drew's able to bring it to ground. Brings the runners into the contest. Again, the Blues with the numbers. Musica feeds it out to Palfreyman. Brings it to the top of the square. Again, they've got the numbers. And that is 2 goals in a minute for Mitchell Thorpe. The Launceston coach, he kicks another. And it is really starting to be danger signs for the Tigers. Mitch Thorpe with 2 goals, both from the goal square. And all of a sudden, The Blues open up a 25-point buffer, 19.5 gone in the opening term.
Thanks, Anthony. You covered a fair bit of commentary there, mate, because we had a bit of a crisis with somebody turning the power off in the coach's box, which upset the apple cart a bit. But we're back, and what happened? A couple of goals to Thorpe, didn't it?
They just turned it on in time for the 2 Mitch Thorpe goals there, Dave. So Thorpe,
Right.
Really starting to assert himself on this contest. Again, Launceston just moving the ball quickly and really getting the Tigers' defence out of sync and putting them under all sorts of pressure.
20 minutes gone in the first quarter. And apologies that lots of audio back at the station there for a moment. We did lose power momentarily. Blackberry inside the 50. Beautiful kick out here towards Hines. Reardon's in attendance. Taken by Riley. Gets rid of it. Tyson Miller. Back over now towards Jake Hines on the boundary line. Kicks for goal. Tough angle. That's another one. 5 goals to the Blues in the first quarter. That's a magnificent performance. They've really turned it on. And Jake Hines there, a tough angle in front of the small grandstand on the eastern side of the Twin Ovals, has threaded it through. Great goal, Jake Hines.
Yeah, Jake Hines again involved in a couple of these goals. Michael Musica as well, but I think we called that first Mitch Thorpe goal the 18.5-minute mark. We're at 20.5 minutes now, and all of a sudden the Blues have 5, 31-point margin, and Trent Bormler will not be happy with this late quarter lapse here from the Tigers. Again, it was spoken about it a few times. Blues moved the ball in quickly. Jake Hines, really classy finish from the pocket.
Fantastic work, and 2 goals to Thorpe, 1 each to Hines, Riley and Musica, as the bounce is a bit errant inside the centre circles there. This is City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5, and via the TSL live stream. Great to bring the action here from Twin Ovals for the first time. As we said, great conditions here today. Auckland takes it out of the ruck, kicks towards half forward. Alec Wright's there, bounces off his chest. Contested ball, Will Campbell trails it, picks it up, shovels it forward. And it's a lot of players there. Will Campbell once again, second effort. Gets caught with the ball, but it'll be a ball up pretty much on the wing, on the eastern side of the Twin Ovals. The great Derwent River in the background. Beautiful sight here at the moment. Ball thrown high. Falls to the base of the contest. Launceston win it out, but only as far as Kieran Lovell. He fumbles slightly. Harper taking the ball to Palfreyman. Over the top now towards Dakin. Dakin kicks high, inside 50. Hines takes a great mark. Jake Hines is on today, and he's taken the mark, 45 out, slightly right of centre. And a chance for their 6th goal of the term.
Just so many avenues to goal, the Blues. You look down there and you've got Riley, Thorpe, Musica, Hines bobbing up, Alec Wright. It's really dangerous, and Hines is that awkward sort of player. He probably plays taller than his size as well.
And you can tell the Blues' game plan is to get it in quickly. They've done that consistently so far. Time goes, so it's quarter time. Let's see if Jake Hines can thread this one through. 45 out. Kicks not bad. It's another one. 6 goals in the first quarter to Launceston. A tremendous start to this game. And Jake Hines kicks his second. And quarter time at 6-2-38. Launceston, Kingborough one behind 1 point. Trent Bormler has charged out of the box. Anthony, he's heading on to the arena. He wouldn't be happy with that first quarter. All right for the first 10 minutes. But by gee, once Launceston got their game going, they really broke it open.
Yeah, I reckon there was a 3 or 4 minute period towards the middle of the quarter where the Tigers were able to get a couple of repeat inside 50s, but never really looked like hitting the scoreboard. Go to the other end, and the Blues have been able to kick 4 goals in the space of about 4 minutes. As you can see, Trent Bormler's immediately brought them all in together. Usually see them go into their lines, but Bormler has said, nope, I'm going to be the one talking to you straight away. I think he'd have some pretty stern messages. And again, the Blues are moving the ball quickly and putting the Tigers' defence under the pump, but you could see them really getting on top around stoppage at the back end of that quarter as well, Dave.
Goal kickers to quarter time. Thanks to Dave Gruber for keeping track of these. And the goal kickers to quarter time. Mitch Thorpe 2, Jake Hines 2, Dylan Riley 1, Michael Musica 1. So, those dominant forwards there have shared the goals amongst them. We'll take a short break here on City Park Radio for some messages, and we'll return in just a moment, and also to the TSL live stream. The scores there, mate. Are we the only ones going? That one's up too.
Yeah, so Norfolk Lake too.
Thanks for attending the Kingston Twin Ovals today for our TSL Round 3 fixture between the Tigers and Launceston. Please note patrons are not permitted under any circumstance to enter the field of play at the quarter breaks, and there is no admission to change room areas other than players and officials from the participating clubs. For those patrons who have purchased tickets to licensed sections of the venue, you are reminded that you are to remain seated.
Welcome back to the Twin Ovals, and as you can see on the screen for the stream viewers, it's 6-2-38 Launceston Tigers, one behind 1 point. Grooms, you got the team stats there to quarter time.
Yeah, Dave, hit-outs, pretty even, 11 to the Tigers and 12 to Launceston. Clearances, Launceston ahead there, 9 to the Tigers, 6. Inside 50s were pretty even until that sort of last 5 or 7 minute flurry by Launceston, and 5 to the Tigers and 11 to Launceston, with free marks inside 50 to Launceston, and free kicks were 2 to the Tigers and 4 to Launceston in that quarter.
And compliments of the Lonnie stats guys. We've got some individual stats there, Anthony.
Yeah, Joby Harper, I should say, leading all comers with 7 disposals. He's over 20 for the first 2 rounds and certainly on track for that again. Jared Dakin with 7 touches. He's doing the job on Kieran Lovell, who's been kept to just 4. So Jared Dakin getting the better of that duel so far. Mitch Thorpe, Dylan Riley, both with 5 disposals each. Blackberry, Dunellan, Auckland, Hines and Musica also with 4.
6 goals, 2-38 Launceston Tigers, one behind 1 point. Now, we talked about that arm wrestle for the first 8 minutes or so. Anthony, where do you think the Blues got on top and really asserted their authority in that game?
Yeah, I think the style of play was really putting the Tigers' defence under the pump, that quick ball movement inside 50, but you could really tell the last couple of, after those quick goals the Blues were getting, when they went back into the middle, Launceston immediately able to bring the ball back inside 50, so I think they were getting beaten at the stoppages there with the Tigers, as those stats really indicate. Joby Harper and Jared Dakin really able to get first use of the ball and really putting the Tigers under the pump. Kieran Lovell, again, had some flashes in there, but never really got a lot of free ball that he was able to be damaging with. So I think Launceston would be pretty happy with those matchups around the stoppages at the moment. As you said, their grooves before, the hit-outs were quite even, but again, the Blues just able to get on top and shark it if Marcus Gardner was getting them first use.
Talking of high-scoring games, the one there at, I'm not sure what venue they're at these days, probably Metricon, is it? Carlton 6-2-38, North Melbourne 4-2-26 is the score there at Metricon Stadium, yep.
I do have a quarter-time score as well from the other TSL game that started at 1:30. Clarence and Glenorchy down at Richmond Oval. Clarence 3-1-19 to the Pies, 2 behind. So Clarence getting the quick start down at Richmond against their old rivals.
I actually picked them that game because I looked through that Clarence team. There's still a lot of class in that team, isn't there?
Yeah, it certainly is, and a lot of really exciting young talent. Seeing guys like Ollie Davis play TSL footy is really exciting. We know the Magpies have been hit by some injury troubles, but that's going to be an interesting game to really keep an eye on as the game unfolds. We've also got North Hobart and Lauderdale starting at 2 o'clock at North Hobart Oval as well, so we'll give you some updates as the afternoon progresses.
So you can see the scores, and thanks to Ash in the stream there, he's got a thing today where we can see the scores in other games. So we'll have those going across the screen as the day progresses. All right, so we're all ready for the second quarter. The Tigers have just got to regroup, don't they?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, they certainly do, Dave. They've, I think, as you mentioned before, they probably wouldn't have been too uncomfortable with where the game was sitting the last couple of minutes of that quarter, but all of a sudden, Launceston kicked 4 goals in a matter of 3 minutes or so, and suddenly it's a 37-point deficit. So obviously we saw Trent Baumler had some pretty stern words for his players at quarter time. Let's see how they can respond in this second quarter.
Okay, set to go. Thanks to our sponsors, your locally owned Telstra stores, Britain's Route Mall, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows. We're underway in quarter number 2. Here's Anthony Osborne.
Tim Auckland, Marcus Gardner up against each other. The ball up from Chris Kay, down from Auckland. Jay Blackberry in pursuit of the ball, but the Tigers able to feed it out by Soup Campbell, out to Lockie Griggs. He's got a teammate there in Clifford, but missed the target as Jay Blackberry swoops on the loose ball. Shot on target, no, just fades to the right. So, again, Tigers, whenever they get the ball, they're put under the pump. Jay Blackberry just swooped on that loose ball, had a flying shot on goal, just missed to the right-hand side. So, Tigers to bring the ball back in through Jared Drew, hoist the ball to half back. Gardner's going to be the target. Lockie Griggs does float across, unable to complete the mark. Good tackle laid, and we'll have a ball up. Will Campbell again heavily involved, laying the tackle on Jack Dunellan. Ball up, attacking side of the wing for the Blues. Auckland wins the ball down, looking for Harper. His handball Initially didn't meet the target of Palfreyman, intercepted by Dygan, but the ball then goes to ground. Clifford feeds it out to Gardner. Dangerous ball here. If the Blues can get a hold of it, they won't be able to move quickly. Palfreyman was a target on the wing. The ball didn't do him a lot of favours, but eventually stays in. Tackle laid by Palfreyman. Have another stoppage.
It's going to be a ball up on just forward of the centre wing. Blues slightly in attack. Auckland wins another tap. Blackberry knocks it towards Palfreyman, who's caught straight away by Clifford. Releases the ball. Denellen dives on the ball for the Blues. So a scrappy start to this second quarter. Entertaining first quarter, especially that last 20 minutes once the Blues got into gear. The Tigers really need to strike back, try and get within 2 or 3 goals here at half-time. As Palfreyman lays the tackle on Gardner. Another stoppage once again. Laid out today, just repeating, Fletcher Seymour was out of the selected side, Jack Denellen into the team. And the Tigers as selected. As Dygan gets tackled. Young umpire there. Who's our umpire there, Anthony?
Young Chris Kay, that is, Dave.
He's doing a great job.
I've been told by those in the know that he's a very promising umpire. Very good cricketer as well.
As Harper gets the releasing handball to Palfreyman, round the corner kick. Musica's beaten by the bounce, back up from Thorpe. Thumps it in the direction of Hines. He can't pick up. Though Wright's on the follow-up. Good tackle there by Davies. Off the ground by Davies. He's going to keep it in front of him. Wright, what a great battle that is. And Wright probably tackled Davies without the ball. Play on. Probably big
Tuthill, I should say, as he drives the ball inside 50 in the direction of Riley Thorpe, is it?
Riley.
Taken. Soared above his direct opponent in Blake McCulloch. And a really good ball inside 50 from Tuthill as well, but I love that little play from Jared Dakin. He was going to drive the ball long, but just reassessed his options before kicking the football.
Tell you what, that's mark of the day so far. It's a beautiful fly there from Dylan Riley. Takes a great contested mark from any size.
Dylan Riley, genuine star of this competition, begins his approach to goal on the way. Never looked like scoring, always to the left. So Tigers with a let-off early in this quarter. Launceston 6-4-40. Tigers remain at 1 behind.
It's a kick out now from Jared Drew. He's looking out towards the eastern side of the ground. He goes short. He has a target there. In the back pocket, so the Tigers are relieved. Blake McCulloch goes on the left foot, close to the boundary line. Over the back, reading it well as Jacob Boyd. He's tackled over the boundary line. In front of the pavilion over there. Shout out to the canteen ladies. I said I would. They gave me a slight discount. So, food was good quality. Chicken burger is to be recommended. As it's a boundary throw in. And Stream Views will see the Do It River in the background. Very calm today. Very little wind here at Twin Ovals. It's unusual, they tell me. As the handball comes out now to Boyd. Out now to Dakin. Dakin kicks inside 50 for the lead of Riley, who dives. Can't quite get to it. And it's out of bounds about 10 metres around from the behind post.
If memory serves me correctly, Dave, Gadomski-Riley, that was a matchup we saw late last year in that final, wasn't it? I thought Gadomski did a really good job.
Yep.
Looks like they're running with each other at the moment as well. So,
great junior footballer. Domsey's still young, still plying his trade as a youngster here at the Tigers. As Campbell picks it up, handball away. Chance here for Clifford, is it? Who's tackled straight away. And there'll be a ball up. Was in fact Lockie Clifford. So just outside the goal square for Launceston. They're pressing hard. A lot of players around the ball. Here's Harper, pulls the trigger, kick smothered. Lovell over there might have got a free kick. He wanted one. He's still complaining, but it's gone now to Blackberry. Funny old kick towards half forward. Bailey Gordon flew for the mark. Chance here for Wright. Quick kick towards goal. Alec Wright hits the post. 6-5, 41 Launceston. Kingborough 1 behind 1 point. Been playing it 5.5 minutes.
Tigers drive the ball out of defence in the Luke Graham direction. Immediately wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire will ball it in. Graham is a lively player for the Tigers. Kicked 3 goals last weekend. He's often been probably their leading goal kicker. Wasn't last year with Tyler Carter and Mickey Paul both sharing the honours, but Luke Graham is an integral part of this side. Crafty small forward. That one down there in the Lovell direction. Auckland decides to rove his own ball, but there is an umpire's whistle. It's going to go back to Kieran Lovell. Being held without the football. 4 touches in the opening term. Jared Dakin, his direct opponent, got the better of him early. It's going to be a fascinating duel. After Dakin's fantastic job on North Launceston coach Taylor Whitford last weekend. Lovell opts to go down the line in the Gardner direction. He's met with 2 or 3 Launceston opponents, but the ball immediately wrapped up. Have another ball up, attacking side of the wing for the Tigers. What are the inside 50s for this quarter so far, Grooves?
4 to Launceston. Tigers yet to make it in. Not going now.
Tigers looking to amend that as Lovell ducks and weaves. Wheels around on the left. This one just going to fall short of 50, but Sam Dygan's there to rove. He's in a bit of trouble though. Dishes the ball out to his teammate in Bilson, playing his 50th game, into a hot spot. Lockie Watts there in pursuit.
Oh,
That's a really industrious kick there, must be said, from Tyler Carter. Out to Lockie Watt. Drives the ball back into the hot spot. Players all around this ball. A tackle laid there by Jack Bilson, who's just starting to get involved as Lovell takes a bit of weight off the kick in the Bilson direction. Unable to quite complete the transaction as Grant Holt picks up the loose ball and finds his teammate and Ryan Tyrrell.
Ryan Tyrrell will release and kick to Bowen Pearce. So good link up here inside defensive 50 for the Blues. After Tuthill, ever improving player. A couple of involvements in the last minute or two. Standing the mark is Luke Graham. So Tuthill, Tut is the call. You can hear on our effects mic. It's going to go long down the line. Ooh, very close to the line by the look of that. Little shove out there by Miller. Not seen by the umpire. Taken now by Jared Drew. Releases it to Bowes. Cheng back to Gardner. Gardner sideways to Lovell. Lovell dodges around a couple. Now kicks inside 50 blindly. Ryan Tyrrell sweeping back there. Takes a comfortable mark right on the 50-metre line. Short now to Casey Brown. Casey Brown has a few options. Now he gets around his opponent easily there. In Bailey Gordon. Kicks in the centre of the ground and finds Tyson Miller. Improving player. Held his place this year. Miller, penetrating kick towards right. 1 against 2. Reading it though right here is Donnell, if he can pick it up. He circles back round onto that left. Kicks nicely to Thorpe. Can't quite take the mark. Nice interception here by that's Casey Brown again. Little handball away to Dakin. Pressured kick. In towards the goal square. Riley can't take the mark. Thumped away there by Godomski. And it'll be a boundary thrown right beside the behind post. It's Launceston 6-5-41. Kingborough 1 behind 1 point with Dave Moore, Dave Gruber and Anthony Osborne. And here's Anthony for City Park Radio Sport.
Tigers stemming the tide a little bit at the moment, but the Blues have the ball in a dangerous position. Ball comes in the forward pocket. Joby Harper shrugs the tackle, gets boot to ball. Tigers with a couple of players on the last line of defence. They just hoist the ball out of defensive 50 towards the boundary line, but it's going to come back with interest as Tyrrell takes a bit of weight off the kick, finds Wright, who goes inboard, and a lovely kick to Jamison House. Great to see him back in Blues colours this year after a stint in South Australia.
He's pushed forward, Anthony. He's played most of this game and last week's game in defence, so pushed forward there, created an opportunity, shot on goal.
Absolutely, and sharp kick from Alec Wright. Just had the poised to kick the ball back inboard. So he's going to have to kick all of 45 metres, almost just 50. As Jamison House makes his approach now, gets very close to the man on the mark, but the ball's on the way, always to the right for a minor score. The Tigers just struggling to pierce this defensive web of the Blues.
There's no flow in their game, Anthony, at the moment. They're
Not at
not
all.
stringing possessions together. They can't really penetrate outside defence. So the long kick out from fullback. Cooper Sorty in position. Doesn't take the mark. White lays a tackle there. And his opponent on Will Campbell. So the ball up. Left half forward for the Blues. They really blew this game open with a 6-goal first quarter. They haven't had a goal yet through 10 minutes of this second quarter. So it's a bit of a holding pattern at the moment. Harper tries to swing it around the corner. Second opportunity. Polferman will be tackled. Gets it away just in time. Nice shepherd there from Taylor. Opens the door for Miller, who gets it straight on the chest of Thorpe. And you don't often see shepherds in blocks these days as much as you used to. And Brennan Taylor then, he just laid a nice little shepherd, opened the corridor there for Tyson Miller to pick up the ball, and he made no mistake with a pass on the Thorpe's chest. 30 metres out, slightly left of centre.
Yeah, lovely ball from Tyson Miller too. Mitch Thorpe was always going to mark that one.
So Thorpe, back amongst the goals, he'll be loving that. With the coach of Launceston. Delivers for goal. Umpire moves slightly, but he likes it. And it's another goal to the Blues. 3 to Mitch Thorpe. That's their 7th. 7-6-48. 1 behind, 1 point. And we are 11 minutes into this second quarter. And that's the one the Tigers didn't want. And, they really wanted to force their way back in the game. But after a bit of an arm wrestle for that 10 minutes, Thorpe's broken the duck for the second quarter.
Yeah, I thought the Tigers' defence held up pretty well for the most part in that opening 10 minutes or so. But it was almost just felt like it was a matter of when the Blues were going to hit the scoreboard as opposed to if. And Mitch Thorpe in the end, lovely finish from him. He has 3 goals. His first real conventional goal from a set shot. The others have been snaps around the body. So back in the middle here, Auckland and Gardner go head to head. It's a good battle. No one really wins that ball down. Auckland sitting there as Blackberry feeds the ball out as far as Donnell, and Elijah Reardon is hot on his tail. Boris Cheng feeds the ball out, looking for Clifford. Again, the ball's just a bit of pinball at the moment as they drive the ball forward. A good mark taken. I think that might be Musica, is it, Dave?
It is.
He's been really influential so far. 4 touches in the opening quarter, including a goal, but just always seems to be in the thick of the action when the ball is going inside 50.
What's the inside 50s update, Bruce, for this quarter?
Inside 50s now, 8 for Launceston, just the 2 for the Tigers.
Tells the story.
4 marks inside 50 also for the Launceston team.
So Michael Musica begins his approach. He crosses the paint of 50 now. He's going to be kicking from about 40 metres on the way. Umpire has to do a lot of work, fading to the left-hand side. So Launceston really dominating this quarter, but not quite putting it on the scoreboard at the moment. Just the 1 goal through Mitch Thorpe a few moments ago.
Blake McCulloch, handball's interesting one. Finds his teammate, tackled by Miller. Off now to Sam Rice. There'll be a turnover here. No, Lovell does well, does beautifully. Gets his hands free. Little kick forward, might have spilled out of bounds. It did.
Just no space for Kieran Lovell today at all, Dave. He does well in traffic, but you really want to see him out with a bit of space where he's able to weave some of his magic. Just under a lot of pressure so far today from the Blues.
Right in front of the pavilion on the eastern side of the ground. We're about 60 metres around from the Launceston goal. Auckland up against Gardner. Auckland wins a little tap, and he takes it himself. Donnellan tries to get through traffic, gets a kick away somehow. Lovell takes it, not 15. Tackled by his fellow number 20 there in Dakin. How's the umpire see that? And he's going to ball it up. So right on that digits in the black and yellow digits of 50 here at the Twin Ovals. Thorpe, nice tap towards Musica. On further to Dakin. Flying shot for goal by Dakins. Sneaks in for a behind. So another behind for Launceston. 7-8-50. Kingborough 1 behind, 1 point. Take over, Ant, and I'll see if I get some other scores for us.
So Jared Drew to bring the ball back into play. After that, Jared Dakin behind. Drives the ball to Lockie Griggs. Just impeded in the contest by Brendan Taylor. Really good work from him. Ball goes out of bounds for a throw in.
Clarence 3-1-19. Glenorchy 2 behinds, 2 points. North Hobart have kicked the first one at North Hobart. 1-2-8 lead Lauderdale, 2 behinds.
It's great to have TSL footy back on your Saturday afternoon as that ball one down by Gardner only as far as Palfreyman. Kieran Lovell just sticks out 1 mitt, brings the ball back in, but his kick rolls out of bounds for another throw in. So attacking side of the wing here for the Blues. The Tigers, I don't know how long it's been since they've actually passed centre at the moment. Ball just being played in Launceston's half in the last couple of minutes. With a 49-point deficit, the Tigers have quite a mountain to climb. Blackberry tackled by Clifford. Might not have fully had the football, but umpire doesn't agree. Harper wheels around, brings that ball inside 50. Dangerous spot here for the Tigers as Launceston have some numbers. Mitch Thorpe tied up against the boundary, smothered by Elijah Reardon, out of bounds for a throw in.
It's a lot of time. 50 here for the Blues. Boundary throwing about 25 metres around from the left front position, though Gardner might have got it. Musica tries to escape a tackle. Spills off the handle of Gordon. Now Blackberry, that quick kick of his, it's always dangerous. Blake McCulloch sweeping nicely though in the back play. Out wide towards Lockie Griggs, pursued by Brendan Taylor. And doing well there is Tyrrell, I think it is. Trying to pick the ball up, he does now. Gets it to right, little handball to Taylor. Taylor kicks inside 50, close to the boundary line. Front position Riley, big thump there from Gardner, does well. Knocks it out of bounds. in the right forward pocket for Launceston. And the inside 50 count is 11-2 now in this quarter. The Blues way. 7-8 to 1 behind. A slight breeze starting to get up. You might hear our mics here. But still a lovely day for football here at the Twin Ovals. Boundary throw in. Thorpe front position. He might have been held. He played for it. He was. Free kick to Mitch Thorpe. He threw the arms back there. Felt a bit of contact. Not sure how much contact there was. But there was enough, says the umpire. It was right on the spot. So Mitch Thorpe is about 30 out, 45-degree angle. Umpire just setting the mark. This will be for Thorpe's 4th goal in the first half. Outstanding. Close in. Kicks for goal to Thorpe. He likes it. That's
that saying that he's a valuable asset to this team, but particularly when he does take the stoppages as the ruck inside forward 50, just to relieve a bit of pressure off Tim Auckland. And again, he's able to draw the free kick out of Marcus Gardner, and really clinical set shot from him. So Mitch Thorpe, 4 goals in the opening half, 2 goals very late in the opening term. 17.5 minutes played in this second quarter. Tigers trailing by 55 points. It's all Launceston at the moment. So that ball decisively won down by Auckland. Will Campbell's the first one in pursuit. Joby Harper immediately lays the tackle. But this is dangerous for the Tigers as Paul Freeman draws the ball inside 50. Mark's taken. Ball on the way there from Hines. He's got Riley. Takes the mark. Wheels around as easy as you like. This is Launceston football at its very best. The Blues 2. The Tigers 1 behind. Dylan Riley, he hits the scoreboard with his 2nd goal. Again, some really good work from Jake Hines to move that ball in quickly, and I think it's probably been understated how great an addition he is back into the Launceston outfit, Dave. Back
from Queensland. And that was as slick as football as you get. That was really, really slick by Launceston. And sometimes, in previous years, they've gone a little bit the sideways GWS type game, but today they're playing direct footy. They're going straight down the middle. They know they've got targets, and they're playing to their strengths. Auckland hits it towards the front of the contest. Chance here for Clifford. He can't break free. Good tackle there by Holt. So 18.5 minutes into this second quarter. It's 9-8, 62 to 1 behind 1 point. Dominant performance here by the Blues. Got a long way to go in this game. Can the Tigers come back and get some respectability into this scoreline? Clifford towards half forward. Oh, gee, a player met heavily there was Boyd. Slow to get up. Little kick inside 50 is a good one to Watt. Lockie Watt takes the mark. And just see the player who got the quick kick forward. I think it might have been Bailey Gordon. It was. So Lockie Watt, he's about 35, 40 out on a slight angle. He gets the handball off now to Lovell. Kieran Lovell for goal. Is this the Tigers first? He's offline to the right. 1 behind. 9-8, 62. 2 behinds, 2 points. About 19.5 minutes into the second quarter.
So 60 points the difference as the Blues bring the ball back out of defence. Piercing ball just outside 50. Nice mark taken from Tyrrell. He's got a run up. Smith, who just hacks the ball down the line. The Tigers have the numbers. They really should get this ball, but again, the Blues put the pressure on. Elijah Reardon tried to take on 2, somehow gets the ball out, according to the umpire. Dishes the ball. Tell you what, the Tigers are not winning any easy possessions here, Dave. You can just see that there. George O'Neill, a youngster in this side, he's immediately beset by 2 or 3 Launceston players and harassed over the boundary line.
Of course, that's the time you get at a higher level, isn't it? You don't get that time on the ball as much. Gets out now towards Clifford from the Sharks. A tap there from Auckland. Now to Elijah Reardon. His handball's astray. Trying to get it back to Davies. It's out of bounds. Centre wing. Right in front of the coach's box. So a great vantage point here on the western side of the ground. Thanks to the Tigers Footy Club for setting it. As Paul Freeman gets it forward towards Musica, spears off hands. And it'll be a boundary throw in. It's 9-8-62 Launceston. Kingborough 2 behind 2 points.
So what can the Tigers salvage in the last couple of moments of this half? At the moment, the ball's not where they want it to be. It's half forward for the Blues. Jay Blackberry wrapped up in a very good tackle. The umpire agrees, holding the ball. Lovely tackle from Ollie Burrows-Cheng. Will Campbell ends up taking the kick. Looks in the Sam Dygan direction. Just does enough to clear a bit of space for O'Neill. Back to Dygan. Goes down the line looking for a target. Ball punched out of bounds from Launceston. That was young Bowen Pearce, South Launceston Premiership player. My first time seeing him in the flesh, but he looks to have slotted into that defence quite nicely.
Yes, he has. And a few South Launceston players back into the TSL in recent times. Jordan Tepper, Nathan Parkin playing with North Launceston this year, so there's a few about. Campbell round the corner. Chance here for the Tigers late on. Nice spoil. And that's knocked out of play by that player. Bowen Pearce knocks it away from the 50 game at Jack Bilson. Boundary throw in, right on the attacking 50 for the Tigers. And don't forget next week, City Park Radio will be at Windsor Park, Launceston versus Lauderdale. Should be a huge game, that one. Blackberry can't get an effective kick away. The backup players Holt playing in defence today. Hines, not 15, managed to shovel it away in time. Lockie Clifford met in the tackle, met in 2 tackles. So it's to be a ball up. A couple of kicks out from goal. Any scores for us there, Anthony? I'll get you on the job there.
Give you an update when I can there, Dave.
No worries. Kicked out of the contest there by Harper. Foot race now. Bailey Gordon leads the race. He has support from O'Neill, but he's tackled. Can't release. So another ball up. Gee, we had a lot of stoppages in this first quarter. Well, this first half, in fact, sorry. So the clearance count has gone through the roof here. You can see on the group sheet, 14 clearances to 7. So far, Launceston's way. They're winning that department. Yep.
North Hobart leading 139 to 2 behinds at North Hobart Oval against the Bombers.
And it's half time here at the Twin Ovals. And it's Launceston, 9 goals, 8-62. Leading Kingborough, 2 behinds, 2 points. Let's go through the goal kickers so far for the Blues. 4 to Mitch Thorpe, 2 to Jake Hines, 2 to Dylan Riley, 1 to Michael Musica. So they kicked 6 goals to 0 in the first quarter, 3 goals to 0 in that quarter did the Blues. And they're very impressive, Anthony.
Yeah, certainly were, and I think that half really, so that quarter particularly, was really just dominated in Launceston's attacking half of the ground. The Tigers unable to really get the ball beyond centre for much of that quarter. Mitch Thorpe, Joby Harper, a couple of the class players starting to really impact the game, and I've really liked Michael Musica down there. I'm interested to see what the stats say, but just feels like he's always a presence around the stoppages, particularly when it is trapped inside the Blues forward 50. And the Tigers, there'll be a fair bit of soul searching happening in this break. They're down by 10 goals at half time, and this is already Launceston's highest score for the season, so this second half's going to be big.
I thought the Tigers stemmed the bleeding to some extent of that second goal. Just a few lapses led to goals, but they certainly were more competitive. They just couldn't quite string passages of play together themselves to set up scoring opportunities.
Absolutely. I think in terms of stemming the tide, they really did hold up quite well for much of the quarter, but they just never really looked like creating scoring opportunities themselves and actually getting the ball out of their defensive half of the ground and into really dangerous positions. A couple of forays late, but they'll be certainly looking to really capitalise and hit the scoreboard in this second half. Actually, just a quick update here, Dave. Also got a score from Richmond Oval, just about half-time. Clarence 5-6-36, Glenorchy 2 behinds, and certainly hasn't been confirmed, but some reports coming out of Richmond that Aidan Grace has actually gone off the ground with an injury, so Glenorchy's injury woes potentially getting worse with one of their stars. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's they just had last week. I think they were really competitive in that game for a long period of time, and they kicked 7 goals in the third quarter. But I think the injuries were a bit of a factor there in that last quarter for sure. Okay, half time here. It's the score's gone off the board, but I've got it here on the stream. It's 9-8-62 Launceston. The Tigers 2 behind 2 points. We'll take a short break here from City Park Radio and also the live stream, and back in a little while. Yep, welcome back here to the Twin Ovals. Our first time here for City Park Round. It's a real pleasure to be here. And unfortunately, at the moment, it's a bit of a one-sided contest. Launceston 9-8-62 to the Tigers, 2 behinds, 2 points. The goal kickers to half-time. Mitch Thorpe has 4. Jake Hines 2. Dylan Riley 2. Michael Musical 1. And you can see some scores there going across the screen from other venues. As Ant mentioned, Clarence doing very well against Glenorchy, 5-1 to 2 behinds, and also North Hobart leading early days there against Lauderdale. Their game is half an hour behind the one here. Earlier scores today, in the under-18s, it was the Tigers 3-5-23, Launceston 11-13-79, so a 56-point win there to Launceston. In the Development League, it was a really close game, this one. It was only 1 goal apiece at half-time. And then the game was a bit more open in the second half. Launceston 4-11-35 defeated the Tigers 4-2-26. So a 9-point win there to Launceston. Don't forget also, if you want to come down the ground after this, if there's a spot, you might be able to sneak in if you put your name there at the gate. We've got the TSLW game between the Tigers and Launceston as well. So a massive day here at the Twin Ovals. Ant, actually might go to groups first for the team stats, and we'll get to the individual stats after that.
Okay, well, Auckland in particular and Launceston well on top in the hitouts in that quarter with 21 to the Tigers 8, and they lead that for the day 33-19 to the half, and that really gave the Blues the first use of the ball, and the clearances in that quarter were 14 to the Tigers 7, and the Blues up there for the to the half 23-13. Inside 50s again, obviously, for that quarter, well in the Blues' favour with 12 and 4 to the Tigers, so the Blues 23 to the half to the Tigers 9. Marks inside 56 to the Blues that quarter, 1 to the Tigers, and Launceston in front there 9-1 to the half, and free kicks only 1 to Blues in that quarter, 3 to the Tigers, and 5 all to the half.
There's only 10 free kicks in the game so far. That's a really low total. And credit the umpires. They've, I think they've let it go pretty well, and it's been a well umpired game so far. And once again, compliments of the Launceston stats guys, and we want to emphasise that. We've only just got the Launceston stats and a couple of the Tigers players, but thanks to Damien Donnelly and Darren Lovell. What do you got for us there, Anthony?
Yeah, I think as we mentioned quite a bit in that opening half, the Blues were able to get on top around the stoppages, and the stats really do reflect that as well. Joby Harper, the leading ball winner with 15 disposals. He has got, I think, first round he had, it's got it in front of me here, 24 touches in round 1, and he had 21 in round 2. He's well and truly on track for a similar number today, 15 to the half. Jared Dakin with 12 disposals, Jay Blackberry with 10. And the one I really like here, Brodie Palfreyman, 9 disposals, 7 tackles. He's leading most tackles on the ground. He's really emerged into an integral part of the inside engine room for the Blues in recent times. He, a couple of years ago, was more of an outside player, but I really like that added grunt that he's got behind his game at the moment as well. Jack Donnellan, Mitch Thorpe and Ryan Tyrrell all with 8 touches as well. Only do have the stats, as we mentioned just then, for one Tiger, and that is Kieran Lovell. He has 10 disposals. Jared Dakin's been going head-to-head with him. So Dakin with 12, Lovell with 10. And you feel like, in terms of the actual impact on the game, Kieran Lovell, his impact has been minimal because of the pressure the Blues have applied on him.
But you'd probably still say that Kieran Lovell's probably one of the Tigers' best at the moment.
Exactly.
He's got his hand on the ball, and he's been in there trying something. And 10 possessions to half-time in a shortened quarter is not too bad. You've got the overall tackle stats there, Sam, anything?
Just try and bring them up for you now. There, Dave. Yes, so 44 tackles for the Blues. I don't have a number for the Tigers, but 44 tackles in a half of football. I think that really, again, does sum up the attack they've had at the contest as well.
And Mitch Thorpe, look, he's really wound back the clock, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly has. I mean, those 2 goals really late in the opening term helped set up that buffer, and then another 2 goals in the second quarter. So 8 disposals for him. It does only say that he's taken the 1 mark. So a lot of the work he has been doing has actually been in and around contests at the ground level as well. And again, that quick ball movement from the Blues, even if it doesn't hit up a target straight away, they're able to bring it to ground and bring other players into the contest as well. And
the Tigers' back line have been under siege. I mean, that quick movement inside 50 to all those dangerous players, we talk about. You can see on the screen for the stream viewers, we've got, they're all up there really. Musica, Riley, Thorpe and Hines. So it's 4 key forwards have done all the damage, and it's the Tigers' backline have battled manfully, but they've been under pressure constantly. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a pretty young and inexperienced unit down there for the Tigers. You do have guys like
Marcus Davies and Jared Drew, who have played a fair bit of senior football. But I think the experience of the Blues has really come to the fore, and the class that they do have down there that looks so great on paper has really reflected in the flesh today as well. And I think, as we touched on again with the even spread, even though Thorpe does have the 4 goals, if it's not Thorpe that's going to hurt you, it might be Dylan Riley. If it's not Dylan Riley, it might be Michael Musica, and the list goes on and on. So, and I think again, just the quick ball movement from the Launceston midfielders to get the ball in there nice and quickly. The Tigers have probably been as well as they have held up. I just think the quick ball movement, as you said, has just put them consistently under siege, and they haven't really had time to reset and have the ball on their own terms in the back half.
And Anthony, it's brought a discussion out here. Isn't it great to have TSL footy back? I mean, there was a time there where it looked very doubtful. We had our outbreak in Tasmania. We're talking about back in late March, early April, and just getting on top of that outbreak and then being able to provide this. And there's so many people here today. Well, when I say so many people, there's 500 people. But there's so many people here today that are just enjoying being back at the footy. They're to our left of us now. They've got their coats on, they're eating their sandwiches, and it's just a great community thing to have back on board, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this year, if it hasn't shown anything else, I think it's certainly shown us that we do take things for granted, Dave. And the lack of football of a weekend was a really tough stretch there for a while. And I know, talking to a lot of players and a lot of coaches around the competition, they really just found this massive shift in what would usually be the structure of their week being out of line. And I think as footy fans, and obviously for the great team at City Park Radio, it really was a real change in lifestyle for a little while there. And even coming into the ground today, you've got this whole Kingborough Twin Ovals precinct with soccer, netball, basketball, all these other sports. And driving in, there was a real sense of community and a real sense of excitement and buzz in the air that sport's back, and that there really is a place for the community to come back together. And I think full credit to the way Tasmanians have been able to behave and do their bit to help stop the spread.
Now, I mentioned pre-game about this facility. We've got the Kingborough cricket ground down below here in front of us. Is that correct?
Yeah,
that's where the
Kingborough Knights play.
Yep.
Yeah, in the TCA, a lot of quality cricketers have come through there from the Cricket Tasmania standpoint. The likes of Clive Rose, Bo Webster, they've played their grade cricket down there at the Knights, and then this year top oval here for the football that we've had a couple of AFL pre-season games here as well. And I think talking to people in the know, even with the NAB League games that were down here last year, I think certainly in Tasmania we might take it for granted just how great of a facility it is.
It reminds me very much, and I'm sure it was modelled on because it was built second, but the facility at Penguin, Dial Park,
yep,
has a very similar feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, the quality of the surface and the quality of the facilities around the ground are great. And I think down the line, we were talking before, we've got a lovely setup here at the moment. I think if they can eventually put some more infrastructure around the ground to, bring more people in when things do go back to normal, it's only going to go from strength to strength. And I think the quality of football that we're able to be seen out here with the facilities is a real testament to the ground itself and the staff who maintain it as well.
And I think this is the attraction still for players to play at TSL level is the facilities. I come here today and it's the surface is as good as anywhere in Australia.
Yep.
You've got great change rooms, great atmosphere for a game. It's terrific, really. And I think that's what keeps players engaged in the TSL.
Absolutely. And actually looking at this list today for the Tigers, quite a few players who are from the Huon Valley, Kingborough region, so the likes of George O'Neill and Duggan, who have come up from Cygnet, Elijah Reid in the year before that. We've seen Mickey Paul come along as well last season. So I think Kingborough, with this Tigers Football Club, have actually been able to engage with their zone and get people to come and play a really high level of football at a facility like this that, not many competitions around the country, even at the VFL level or the SANFL level, would have facilities as good as this. So I think the capacity that the Tigers have to draw players in from their community to come and play at this level is a really great thing as well.
Now, sorry, Grim.
So a new estate built up the top.
Yeah, there is. So it's just this whole region is just growing and growing.
Developing really well.
Yeah,
We've got some great facilities to come into then.
Absolutely, lots of the Kingborough community itself. The last 5 years particularly just seems to get bigger and bigger, and you are only 10 minutes down the highway from the city centre as well. So it's a really growing part of southern Tasmania, and I think this football club and this whole Twin Ovals precinct is really becoming a hub for it as well.
Now, we were going to talk to Paul Gdomsky at half-time, but I'm guessing that he might want to be with his players at this time, Anthony, because I did tee it up with him during the week, but I'm thinking because of the state of the game, perhaps he's over there having a chat to his players, and that could be fair enough.
Yeah, and I even think with the nature of how things are working at the moment, I think the people working at football clubs do have a lot of things to stay on top of, so no issues there for Paul. I think he's certainly hoping that his side's able to to pull something out in this second half. They're trailing by 10 goals at the moment and really are up against it, but there's enough class in there that hopefully they can at least hit the scoreboard a bit in this third quarter and at least give the Blues something to think about. But it certainly was all Launceston in the first half.
Just watching Fletcher Seymour walk over the oval, he didn't seem to be too inconvenienced, so it might be just a niggle that they might want to give a week's rest. We also saw Joe Gronewagen there, a former State League player with Launceston, and he's back also, and he's moving okay. So there's a couple of players that have come back to even strengthen this outfit. Yeah, and
we were talking off air just before we started the broadcast today that win last weekend against North Launceston, there's almost a sense of the shackles have been removed from Launceston a little bit. I think that's been something that's been hovering over the club for a long time, and that win would certainly do a lot for them heading into the rest of this season.
Okay, so the Blues are back on the ground really early here, even before the umpires, so the umpires aren't too far away. We'll take another break here on City Park Radio. When we come back, we'll set the scene for the second half. Fletcher. We'll come out and chat.
Better be quick, otherwise the coach won't say me. Give me a review.
Yes, welcome back to the Twin Ovals. It's 9-8-62 Launceston, Kingborough 2 behind 2 points. We've got about a minute before play resumes. Just grab Fletcher Seymour. G'day, Fletch.
G'day.
A late withdrawal today.
Yes, unfortunately came over on the ankle on Thursday night. So
okay,
yeah,
so not too serious?
Nah, hopefully back next week.
Fantastic. And how do you see the game at half-time? Gee, the boys have been impressive.
Yeah, it's been really impressive. Our pressure around the footy, getting it in deep to Mitch and Dill, who have been really dangerous. It's been great.
And you seem to be playing a direct style of footy. Was that something Mitch was going to concentrate on?
Yeah, ball movement's always been a key focus of ours, so trying to get it in deep. We've got a very dangerous forward line when we can get it to those boys one out, so that's definitely part of the game plan.
I guess obviously a fantastic result for the club last week. A lot's been made of how long it's taken to get that win over North Launceston. Is there a sense of that win over the Northern Bombers almost just loosening any shackles and really giving a sense of confidence to the group?
Yes, it was definitely a win that we had to have and a game that we wanted to win. But I guess it's only round 2, so we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves. It's a shorter season, but it's still a long season, so we've got to be playing our best footy at the right time of year. But yeah, to get that win was important.
And what was Mitch's message at half time there?
Just keep driving it home.
Okay, short and sweet. Fletch, thanks for joining us on City Park Radio.
No worries, thank you.
That's Fletch Seymour there on City Park Radio joining us. Just he's going down to the coach's area there. Just an ankle injury there. He's back next week, so that's good news. Okay, so let's see what the Tigers can do, Anthony.
Yeah, absolutely. I think thanks again to Fletcher for coming up and having a quick chat with us at very short notice. But I think that message of just keep sending it home and quick ball movement really did summarise how they were playing in that opening half. Interesting that the Tigers have only just come out of their rooms right before the start of the second half. So plenty of messaging going on from Trent Bormiller and his coaching crew. Let's see how they respond. Back in the middle, Marcus Gardner, Tim Auckland to resume things. Auckland just wins that one down. Again loses his footing. Jay Blackberry drives a handball back to half forward, but the Tigers have the numbers. O'Neill under a lot of pressure. looking in the Lockie Griggs direction, who's opted for the long sleeve jumper as it gets a bit colder this afternoon. That ball only as far as Clifford into the middle of the ground, who drives the ball. A bit of a danger ball here for the Blues defence. The Tigers, plenty of numbers around the footy. Sam Rice looks to be at the other end of the ground than we usually see him, and he's wrapped up. Have a ball up, half forward for the Tigers. At least some promising signs. The Tigers able to get their hands on the football in the first 30 seconds here. See if they can capitalise. Plenty of bodies here. Kieran Lovell in pursuit. Just able to corral the football, then lay a strong tackle on Jack Donnellan. Have another stoppage, this time in the centre square. So the Blues have gained about 15 metres. Plenty of stoppages in that opening quarter. But interesting, as Groobs touched on at the halftime break, not many free kicks, so just lots of rolling stoppages. Joby Harper wrapped up in a tackle, just gets the hands free, or does he? No, he doesn't. Great tackle from young George O'Neill. Young Signet product. That's the sort of thing you want these young players doing, Dave, laying tackles on guys like Joby Harper.
That's right. Good game last week, George O'Neill, as he kicks inside 50. Right of the goal square, flying high. Tigers can't take a mark. Auckland taps it away, but the volleyball goes on. Tyrrell coughs it up. Lovely tries to swing around for a shot on goal. He can't get there. Clifford this way, that away. Lockie Clifford. It's going to go all the distance, is it? Right of the goal square. A mark taken on the line. The last line of defence, it's Jake Hines back there, who's playing in defence at the moment. Is indeed. So Lockie Clifford, he did everything but about a centimetre to go there. Would have been their first goal. Short kick into Harper. Harper is going to switch it to the outer side as a player in the back pocket, and that's Jacob Boyd. He plays on straight away, finds a teammate by foot, and that's Miller Hodge. He's now on defensive 50. He handballs over the top to Harper in the follow-up now. Harper turns around, decides to kick himself now, and it's a nice mark taken over there by Marcus Davies. Davies, ex-AFL player with Carlton. Kicks short and finds Duggan. On the far side, Duggan from further south, around Signet Way. Is that right, Ant? I think.
That's right, a couple of Signet products, him and George O'Neill.
Oh, nice mark, Harper, as he takes it. That's 3 possessions in about a minute to Joby Harper. Slow to get up, but he's all right. Strong mark. Still half back for the Blues. Switches it now to Hodge. Hodge, or player coming from behind, Tyler Carter. You can't do that, son. And he snuck around before the umpire called play on, and that's 50 metres to Miller Hodge. Ant, your thoughts?
I think Tyler was trying to be nice and clever there, thinking he was going to be moving on quicker there was Miller Hodge, but in the end, gives away the 50-metre penalty. A bit short 50 by the looks of it. So Launceston bring the ball out to the wing, eastern side of the ground, hoisting the ball there. I think it was Casey Brown in the forward direction. Dylan Riley almost takes a one-handed grab, but Jay Blackberry, flying shot on goal for a minor score. So behind there for Jay Blackberry. Launceston moving the ball nice and quickly. Obviously 50 metres helped via that penalty, but Dylan Riley just stayed alive in that marking contest even as he was going to ground, able to keep the ball alive, and Blackberry through for a minor score as the Tigers bring it out of defence. Only as far as half forward, the ball goes out of bounds. Marcus Gardner was spoiled as he was going for the ball, so throw in. Half forward here for the Blues. 61 points the difference. 3 or 4 minutes now played in this second half. Mitch Thorpe engages with Marcus Gardner. Thorpe wins that one down, only as far as Lovell, who's immediately wrapped up by Paul Freeman. Been doing plenty of that today is Paul Freeman. Harper feeds on the ball at the back of the contest, drives the ball to the hot spot, looking in the Riley direction, unable to pull down the mark. Plenty of bodies around this ball as a scrum forms. Blake McCulloch involved for the Tigers, and will have a stoppage about 25 metres out from the Launceston goal.
That was exciting. You just see Riley, he's just was all over that mark, but he just couldn't quite take it. As Thorpe knocks towards Riley. Thorpe again, another goal, it's 5. That's a bag for Mitch Thorpe, off the left. Won the tap and got the follow-up. And he's kicked 5 in just over a half a footy. Now there's a consultation between umpire, and it looks like it was touched. So that's not 5 for Thorpe. I take all that back. Touched off the boot. So behind to Launceston, 9-10-64. 2 behinds. They're away now are the Tigers with George O'Neill. Short kick up the wing. And he finds a teammate there in Bailey Gordon. Gordon wheels and goes. He has options inside, although Harper is there again. He knocks it to Donnellan. Donnellan kicks it inside 50. Here's a chance again for Thorpe. He's going to kick to the goal square. If he's got somebody on, he has. Dylan Riley will take it on his chest. He'll play on. He'll goal. That's another one for the Blues. And that is now 3 goals for Dylan Riley. He just sat back there in the goal square. And JB Harper started all that. Geez, he's had a good start to this third quarter. He's had about 5 possessions. And they worked it out well. Thorpe had the vision to spot Riley in the goal square. And he did the rest. And that's 10-10-70, 2 behinds, 2 points.
Yeah, costly turnover there from the Tigers, and you could just see Joby Harper was able to intercept that ball because the Tigers were starting to move the ball in an attacking direction. All of a sudden, the defender had the choice of either going for Dylan Riley or going for Mitch Thorpe. Went for Mitch Thorpe, opened up Dylan Riley out the back, and as easy as you like. I don't have the stats in front of me, but there'd be 3 or 4 of the Launceston goals would have come from that goal square, I would have thought.
Yeah, they've got a few easy ones today. In the middle of the twin ovals, nobody can win the tap. Auckland Sharks said he's done that a lot today. Kicks about 10 metres forward of the ball. Taken by Wright, fumbles. Gardner on the follow-up, does well. Tackled there is Burrows. Ching Harper again. Left foot inside 50, Thorpe. Can't quite take it on the bounce. Dangerous again here. Godomski leads the chase. Does well. Kicks it and doesn't do greatly in the end because he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Free kick, Launceston. Holt. Short to Harper, who takes the mark. And he may be within range, Joby Harper. He doesn't go for it though. He goes short to Thorpe, who'll mark about a millimetre inside the boundary line in front of the small grandstand, the southern end of the twin ovals. He goes now. Here he is. This is for 5. Round the corner, Mitch Thorpe. Is this number 5? No, he's missed this one. Another behind. 10-11-71. Launceston, Kingborough 2 behinds, 2 points. Here's Anthony Osborne for City Park Radio Sport, sponsored by your locally owned Telstra stores, Brisbane Street Mall, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows.
Jared Drew brings the ball back into play, has Godomski in the back pocket. No, he just assesses his options as the Tigers look to try and pierce their way through. Opts for the short ball back to Jared Drew. And he's got Marcus Gardner down the line as an option, but he decides to go inboard. A riskier kick, and a beautiful kick, it must be said, from Drew. That frees things up for the Tigers. Ben Donnelly, he goes out wide to Lockie Griggs. Back in the long sleeves. He goes down the line for McCulloch, who's a long way back from his defensive area. Him and Alec Wright do battle. Reinforcements come in for both sides, and Joby Harper wraps up his opponent. We're going to have a stoppage right on the wing. So again,
Remind you too, Anthony, sorry, that you've got to do the 3-2-1 at the end of the game. So I didn't remind you that pre-game. So
thanks for the notice in the second half, Dave, but I'll be able to, I'll see what I can come up with.
No worries. City Park Radio Player of the Year Award. So sorry, you go.
No, another stoppage in the same spot we just had there. So a throw in, centre wing on the eastern side of the ground. Ball comes in now. Auckland wins it down. In pursuit is Blackberry, unable to get his hands on the football. Tigers convene, but the Blues are able to hack the ball towards half forward. Alec Wright in a one-on-one battle now with Marcus Davies. Davies does just enough to bring the ball out of bounds. So we'll have another throw in. Attacking side of the wing here for the Blues as Musica comes off the ground. Jared Drew running with him at the moment. So Donnellan and Elijah Reardon back on.
Free kick was found, and it's going to go towards the Tigers' way. And might have been, pick up the player there, but anyway, he's got it forward now towards Miller. Goes back from whence it came to Thorpe, who takes the mark. And he's going to have a go. No, he's going to go short and finds Harper. Harper runs in, 10 metres out, and does he kick the goal? I think he does.
Easy as you like.
Goal to Joby Harper, as Anthony said, as easy as you like. And the Blues now going to 11-11-77. Kingborough 2 behinds, 2 points. Once again, great vision there from Mitch Thorpe. He was well within scoring range for a player with a boot like him, was Mitch Thorpe. But he spotted up Harper, who just waltzed into goal, kicked it from an angle, and that's their 11th.
So turnover at half-back from Burrows Cheng. I did like that he was trying to open up the angle, but in the end, the Blues were able to intercept the ball, and as you mentioned, Dave, Mitch Thorpe able to bring Harper, I was about to say into the game. Joby Harper is absolutely dominating this game, so it certainly hasn't brought him into the game, but some nice reward for effort there from Joby Harper. His work rate has been immense going inside 50 as we're back in the middle. Tyler Carter competing against Auckland. Carter wins that one down. Kieran Lovell wrapped up in a tackle from Tim Auckland. Really good work from the big man. Auckland. He's been quite dominant. Had 36 hit-outs last weekend. Get an update from Groobs at three-quarter time to see how he's tracking for today as well. That ball fed out the back to Joby Harper. He goes towards half forward in the Alec Wright direction. Marcus Davies competing with him. Denellen swoops on the ball. Grant Holt's there for the Blues as well, but Jared Drew will do the mopping up for the Tigers. Misses his target with the handball. Holt immediately comes in with the tackle. And again, the Tigers thought they might have been able to work a way out, but some good forward pressure there from the Blues. Locks it inside forward 50.
Inside 50s Groups this quarter.
7 to Launceston, 2 to Tigers.
Full free kick.
Yeah.
It's come away from Mitch Thorpe.
Don't think Mitch Thorpe could even believe it. He gets the ball though, and he's got a chance now for his 5th goal. It's Tyler Carter there. Now he goes short again. This time it's Paul Freeman who makes space in front of Lockie Clifford. And Brady Paul Freeman is about 30 out. Stiff angle over there on the eastern side of the ground. He hasn't kicked a goal yet today. We just had the 5 goal kickers for Launceston. 4 to Thorpe, 3 to Riley, the standouts. So Brody Polfreman, as Anthony said at half-time, leading with the tackle count with 7 tackles in that first half. Chance now to hit the scoreboard. Brody Polfreman. And that's another goal to Launceston in this third quarter. 12-11-83, 2 behinds, 2 points. First goal of the day to Brody Polfreman. And that all resulted from a free kick to Mitch Thorpe, which, not sure it was there, but anyway, it's on the scoreboard now.
Yeah, Tyler Carter's certainly reluctant to pass the ball over to Mitch Thorpe, but again, second time in a matter of minutes that Thorpe has brought another player into the game to hit the scoreboard, and Polfreman, similar to Harper earlier, really was a nice reward for effort. He's been one of their better players, Brody Polfreman. Back in the middle now, and Tigers still yet to hit the scoreboard with a goal. It's now 81 points the difference. 2 behinds to 12-11-83. 12 and a half minutes gone in this third quarter. What can the Tigers muster here? Blackberry wins the football, immediately wrapped up in a tackle from Tyler Carter. And a bit going on off the ball there, no. It's Tim Auckland asserting his authority. So the Tigers are throwing a couple of other players in and around the ball. George O'Neill's up there at the moment. He looks to be going with Dakin at this stage. That ball's run down by Clifford, unable to quite shrug the tackle from Blackberry. Denellen lays a strong tackle as well, as does Jared Dakin. The Blues are hungry, Dave. This is really impressive stuff. They have been all afternoon, and even now, 81 points up, they just look hungry for the contest.
Could have excused them for being a bit flat after last week, but gee, they've come out firing.
So Dakin under pressure. Ball only goes as far as the Tigers player in Ollie Burrows-Cheng, who drives the ball inside 50. Luke Graham, the target. He's immediately set upon by his opponent. Grant Holt swoops on the ball. Bailey Gordon, good intent to create a contest. Lockie Clifford marks uncontested just outside 50. A scrubbing ball back inside 50. Unable to find a target as the Blues repel. Nice work there from Jack Denellen, I think it was. Yes, it was. It was 1 against 3. Kicks the ball off the ground to Musica. Wins his ball back from Musica. The ball runs out of bounds.
That's typical Launceston today. Denellen wins a 1 against 3 battle, gets on to Musica, 1 against 2, and they've still, they maintain possession under pressure. Just noticed their score, Anthony. North Hobart still have a narrow lead over Lauderdale, so good contest at North Hobart.
Certainly is. Some good contests happening around the TSL at the moment, but here at the Twin Ovals, it's all one-way traffic at this stage as Paul Freeman's kick gains another 25 metres for the Blues, out of bounds. Now Lockie Griggs just down behind play at the moment. Trainer having a quick chat with him at the moment. He's very slow back to his feet, is Lockie Griggs. Not too sure, might have been as part of that contest, but he's still on the ground as the ball comes back into play 20 metres away from him with a throw-in. Got one eye on Lockie Griggs. He's helped by 2 trainers holding his head at the moment, so that's a concern for the Tigers. Have another stoppage at half forward.
Just saw the replay there. He's hit by friendly fire there, Anthony, so unlucky there for young Griggs.
Taken to the interchange bench. Back at play. We'll have another stoppage at half forward for Launceston. So it's tough to find many positives for the Tigers at the moment, Dave.
Absolutely. There's Sortie in the ruck there against Auckland. Clifford caught there by Blackberry. So just got a negative passage of play here. It's all being played out on the half-forward line for Launceston, just near the 50-metre line. There's knocked out of the way of the contest there. Auckland got Sortie out of it. Musica on the left foot. Lets fly for goal. Off to the right. And that is a behind. So 12-12, 84 now, Launceston. 2 behinds, 2 points, Kingborough. Quick release out here towards Campbell. Over the back though is Holt. He's got Harper in support who gets it now. Back to Tyrrell. Tyrrell with the left foot, kicks towards half forward. And in the van there is Elijah Reardon, who takes a mark at half back. Goes down the line as a teammate there, and that's George O'Neill. He's pushed up the ground.
Showing a little bit, I reckon, O'Neill, Dave. He's been handy.
Yep, that's right. And he kicked a couple of goals last week. Up the wing, and nice mark front position, Auckland. Plays on now to Harper. Over to Boyd. Boyd by hand to Hodge. Hodge kicks quickly inside 50. This is where they're dangerous. Riley in a contest. Picked up nicely by Blackberry. Already had his head down. How's the umpire read that? It's going to be a holding the ball decision. Probably fair. He had their head down already. And free kick to Blake McCulloch, who switched. Now he has to switch because he's invited to play on. Low kick towards Bailey Gordon. Does well at his bootlaces. Shrugs off a tackle. Now he falls over. Danger. Umpire holding the ball. Jake Hines has got it. 50 out. Short kick. Not a good one. Shark by Reardon. Plays on. Kicks to half-back Bilson in his 50th. Takes it. Handball off to O'Neill. O'Neill shrugs a tackle of Holt. Goes up the wing. Might turn the ball over here. Jake Smith gets it to Taylor. Back to Smith. Inside out left foot kick. Gets it here. Shrugging a tackle there. Don't argue is Harper. Inside 50 Riley. Clears him. Spills towards the goal square. Hits the post. One behind. Draw a breath. 12-13, 85 Launceston. Kingborough 2 behind, 2 points. 17 and a half minutes into the third quarter here at Twin Ovals.
Nicely done there, Dave. As Duggan gets the ball back in the defensive pocket for the Tigers. Marcus Davies hacks that ball through the middle of the ground. Cooper Sortie, the target. He takes the mark. Wheels around on his left. Hasn't had much to do today, Cooper Sortie. Drives the ball inside 50. Sam Rice competing inside 50 for the Tigers. Lockie Watt on his right boot. Snap on goal. He's got Duggan there. In the end, beats Sam Duggan. Too much curl. Goes through for a minor score. And yeah, guys like Cooper Sortie just haven't had a chance to get in the game today. It's been all one-way traffic. Looks like Sortie's just doing some relief work in the ruck. He's with Auckland on the wing at the moment as the Blues look to bring this ball out of defensive 50.
He's been good again today, Auckland. Anthony was fantastic last week. He's followed that up as it comes towards Auckland. Front position right. Auckland probably sport right there in the contest. Spills out of bounds. So you can hear in our effects mic plenty of chatter. It's down in front of us here on the western side of the Twin Ovals. In front of the big Welcome to Tigerland sign. And we certainly have been today. It's been fantastic. Thanks very much to all the staff here at the Twin Ovals. Blackberry, handball was astray. Shark by Burrows Cheng. His kick's close to the boundary line. Tyrrell almost takes a big mark over the top there of Daigan. Tutty was tackled. It's out of bounds.
Lockie Griggs doing some run-throughs on the boundary as well, Dave. So good to see he's back up and moving.
He's got a bit of contact to the head by a teammate in the contest.
Such a good player for them last year too, Dave. Really came into his own.
Here's Blackberry. Taking camp over the ball there. So many players around the contest. Harper is shoved off it. Another ball up. So, what's the score there at half-time, Ant? We had...
half-time it was 62-2.
Yeah, so 85-3. Tigers limiting Launceston to some extent, but they just can't get any forward line penetration. There's another ball up. Tackle there by Jamison House on Tyler Carter. So Carter takes it. Nicely done to Campbell, who fumbles at the last moment. And then it's taken by Blackberry. He's tackled to the ground. Inside 50s is quarter groups.
12 to Launceston, 7 to Tigers.
Okay, so they've had a bit of it.
Yeah.
And clearances?
Clearances, 7 to Launceston, 3 to the Tigers. Ruck works pretty even this quarter.
Okay, so here's a chance. Burrows Cheng burrows it out to Lovell. Close to the boundary line. Kick there by Daigan. Chaos ball. Thumped away by Campbell. And there's a free kick back on play. And it's a player down. Is it a Tiger?
looks to be.
High
Yep,
tackle.
see by the socks, high tackle, yep. So free kick's going to go the way of Jared Drews up in the forward line. So there's been a few switches there.
Yeah, just trying a few different things, I think, Trent Baumler and his coaching crew, and why not with the deficit they're facing at the moment.
So Jared Drew, for our radio listeners, he's about 25 out, about 10 metres in from the boundary on the left-hand side. Tough shot, we're right behind it. Stream viewers will see a nice view of this one. Jared Drew fashions it pretty well, but it's off to the right, and that's their fourth behind. Four behinds to Launceston 12-13-85. Anthony Osborne.
Three-quarter time in the AFL, Carlton leading by 5 points, 55-50 over the Roos, so that one's going to go down to the wire. It's back here at the Twin Ovals. Jack Tuttle with the ball in the back pocket. Dying embers of this third quarter. So he hoists the ball down the line, looking for a target. Pack forms, Gardner gets a fist to it.
Dave Gruber's very excited, Ant, because he gets to listen to Hawthorn versus the Swans on the way back.
On the way back.
On the highway, so half-time at Mood Food, all good. Three-quarter time here at the Twin Ovals. It's 12-13-85 to Kingborough, four behinds, 4 points at quarter going about 21 and a half minutes. So Launceston really pushed home their advantage as Fletcher Seymour said it. Mitchell Thorpe's message at half-time was just to continue the job, and they certainly did. And at 12-13-85 to four behinds, 4 points. Goal kickers, 4 to Mitch Thorpe, 3 to Dylan Riley, 1 to Michael Musica, 2 to Jake Hines, and 1 to Joby Harper. Brody Polfman's got one as well, thanks. We can't fit on our graphic there. So one of Brody Polfman. So a great quarter by the Blues.
Certainly was, Dave, absolutely. It's all Launceston traffic at the moment, 85-4. Tigers still yet to hit the scoreboard with a goal, and Trent Baumler, I mean, the game's well and truly gone for his side at the moment, but hopefully he can give them a message at this final break and try and get the Tigers to at least hit the scoreboard and show some signs of promise. Again, Launceston just dominating almost every facet of this game, the ball being played in their end for the most part. Mitch Thorpe, if he wasn't kicking goals, he was bringing other players into the contest. Joby Harper, absolutely immense around the stoppages, and the Tigers forwards have really just not had a chance to really impact the game. Like guys like Luke Graham, Cooper Sordy just haven't really been given the opportunity because of what's happening further afield. So full credit to the Launceston Football Club. They've maintained the form they were able to generate last weekend in that historic win, and they're certainly looking like the team to beat in TSL 2020.
Anthony Osborne for City Park Radio Sport. Thanks for listening to us today on 96.5 and 103.7 or via the live stream. We'll come back in just a moment after these messages with all the stats from quarter number 3. Three-quarter time here at the Twin Ovals. Launceston 12-13-85. Kingborough 4 behinds, 4 points. To take us through the stats, Dave Gruber.
Oh, a lot more even in the ruck that quarter, Dave. 11 apiece in hitouts to the Tigers and the Blues. Clearances that quarter, 7 to Launceston and 4 to the Tigers. Launceston well ahead after three-quarter time in that with 30-17. Inside 50s that quarter, Launceston again on top there with 12 inside 50s and 6 for the Tigers. And another 5 inside 50 marks to Launceston and just the 1 for the day for the Tigers. and 9 free kicks apiece at three-quarter time. So umpired really well, I thought, this game so far.
Absolutely. Thanks to Dave Gruber. Yeah, that's a telling stat, just a 1 inside 50 mark for the Tigers for the whole game so far.
Yep, absolutely. As we've said before, they just haven't really had a chance. When it has gone in there, it's been under a lot of pressure, so that certainly tells the tale there, Dave.
And you got the individual stats, compliments of the Launceston Football Club statisticians. That's what I'm trying to say.
A bit of a tongue twister, no. Yep. Absolutely, it's great to have the stats from them. And Joby Harper, 27 disposals to three-quarter time. He had 7 in the first quarter, 8 in the second, and 12 in the third. He really just hadn't already stamped his authority on the contest. He certainly did that quarter. Jay Blackberry, the next best, with 15. Jared Dakin, 14. Jack Donnellan, the late inclusion, has 13, as well as Mitch Thorpe and Brodie Palfreyman. And Kieran Lovell, the only number we do have for the Tigers, he has 13 touches to three-quarter time. In terms of the tackles, Palfreyman's still leading with 8. And on the mark side of things, Joby Harper with 6. Mitch Thorpe has 4 as well. So, again, the real prime movers for Launceston getting plenty of the football. And Joby Harper, I mean, he's been TSL Team of the Year as a centre-half back before. He, as we saw in that last quarter, was able to drift forward and kick a goal. His work rate is immense, and he certainly is one of the better players in the competition.
To get 12 possessions in a 16-minute quarter, I mean, you extrapolate that out, that'd be 16 or 17 in a 25 or 20-plus time on quarter, so that's huge.
And I think you even touched on it early in the quarter, Dave. I think you said he had 3 or 4 touches in the space of 3 minutes, and I think you were right on the money with that as well, as the stats would indicate. So, and the fact that he's gone from 7 to 8 to 12, he's actually getting better as the game goes on, and he was certainly starting in red hot form as well.
Yeah, look, Launceston look very powerful at the moment. They've still got players to come back in. As we mentioned, Seymour was a late withdrawal. We've got Tim Bristow out there who played in the Development League today. We've got Joe Gronewagen who's coming off the ground now. So there's more to come. And just watching the players come off, no major injuries I can spot for either team so far. So 4 fit players on the bench, and that's good news. We've got that interesting part of the fixture coming up, Anthony, where we've got those midweek games. So that'll test depth out in some teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously very different in the competition like the TSL compared to the AFL with the capacity to have midweek games. So, again, this season was always going to be a little bit different. I think full credit to the team at AFL Taz for the way they've been able to devise a fixture. And, again, I think the cooperation of all the clubs has been terrific as well. One other stat as well there, Dave. 58 tackles Launceston have recorded according to the statisticians.
Wow.
So that is a very high number. We don't have the number for the Tigers, but I don't think it'd be anywhere near that. So full credit to Launceston. They've shown plenty of hunger as well as skill right around the ground. And with a lead of 85-4 heading into the last quarter, the Tigers be just trying to find some positives to finish this game with as we're back in the middle to start this final quarter. Auckland wins it down and roves his own football, just beating Kieran Lovell. It goes inside 50 looking for Musica, who just kicks it straight into the chest of Jared Drew. The Tigers with a couple of numbers is there looking to bring the ball back in. A Launceston player down behind play. I think it might be Musica, but I might need to check that. Yeah, Dave might have been as part of that contest. He's up now, but certainly taking his time to get back to his feet. So we'll have a stoppage just outside attacking 50 for Launceston. Auckland again wins that one down to Harper. Again stamping his authority early in the last quarter. Brings it to the hot spot where Dylan Riley is. Jared Drew was set upon by Musica, just able to get his kick away to the outer wing. Elijah Reardon runs past the ball. Launceston again with the numbers. So just outside their forward 50. A good tackle laid by Lockie Godomski, and the umpire agrees, holding the football. So the Tigers to reset off half-back.
It's been a good battle today, those two. Well, they probably had the better of it, but it was a great tackle there by Lockie Godomski on that occasion. Back to Jared Drews, back in defence. Had a shot on goal earlier in the third quarter. Beautiful pick up there by Rice. Gets the handball now to Donnelly. Here's some good play. Flying play through the middle by the Tigers. Out to Davies, who picks it up. Kicks inside 50. Chance here in the forward line for Campbell. Taken though by Tuthill. That's a good pick up to Tyrrell. His little kick's no good though, as it's only as far as Clifford. Palfreyman and Clifford. And the follow-up now is Tyrrell. Underground handball to Taylor. Back to Tyrrell on the boundary line. Good penetrating kick. He might cough it up to Donnelly though. Takes a mark on his chest. Defensive side of the wing. Get you in a second, Anthony. You've got to score for me, I feel. As Lovell kicks inside the centre square. Taken now by Palfreyman inside 50. Now to Thorpe. He's got a bit of space. Kicks nicely here for Riley. Does he? Can't quite get on his fingertips. Falls out of bounds. Anthony Osborne.
Three-quarter time at Richmond Oval. Clarence 9-9-63. Glenorchy 1-5-11. So it's all Clarence down at their new home of Richmond Oval. Glenorchy just in a bit of strife at the moment.
Absolutely, and yeah, it's a big, it's going to be a big win there for Clarence by the look of it. So good flying play there from both teams. End-to-end stuff, that's what we like to see. Boundary thrown's a little bit shallow. Thorpe against Gardner. Oh, Blackberry, was that high? Umpire says no. There's a bit of a scuffle on. Donnelly's in there. Blackberry slow to get up. Strong tackle. We're operating at about 25 metres out from Launceston's goal. Quick throw up. Gardner only as far as Blackberry swings. Good smell there from Griggs. He picks it up as Griggs. In fact, it's O'Neill. Tackled there by Blackberry. Be another ball up. So the Tigers, I'm sure they want to kick a goal. They wouldn't want to go through this contest without kicking a major. That's their big objective here in this last quarter, you'd think. Again, a bit of pride. Another ball up. So we're about 3 minutes in. Gardner clears the area at last. Out here towards Tyrrell. Oh, almost a great one out of mark. There's a Taylor, tries to get it back to Tyrrell. Bilson fighting hard. Taylor goes back in. Shoveled out now towards Palfreyman. As Clifford is tackled by one arm. That'll be another ball up. That's a pretty ordinary couple of minutes there, Anthony, so see if you can have a go and clear things out a bit.
Some scrappy football to start this final quarter. Another stoppage. Auckland and Gardner engage. Harper wins it down. Handball off to Jerry Blackberry, but running over the line. It's Clifford. Can see that Lovell and Dakin are still running with each other, Dave. Do you have a sense as to whether it's still a really hard tag from Dakin or if it's more just going head-to-head?
Yeah, look, I think Lovell's had enough space, but and Dakin's won a fair share of his ball as well. It's been a pretty good contest.
That ball, Auckland just takes it within his arms. Gardner immediately wraps him up. He may have had equal ownership over that football as well. So
I think Lovell's had the chance to get the ball, but he's always been under pressure.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Jared Dakin, a lot of quick kicks out of stoppages as well. So Harper just wills his way towards the football. Finds Alec Wright, who just held enough of it for the umpire to pay a mark. He's about 55 metres out from goal. Chip kick into space. Jay Blackberry running back with the flight, able to take an uncontested mark in the end. And Blackberry, another one of those players who, without completely dominating the contest, has just been very solid.
Yeah. It gets a lot of quick kicks forward out of contests. You get to ground. Nothing flashy, but he'll be there to win the ball when the going gets tough.
It's been a terrific footballer for a long period of time as Jay Blackberry begins his approach to goal at the moment. Slide angle kicking from about 40 metres out, always to the left-hand side. So minor score for Blackberry. He's had a couple of opportunities today. I think that might be his third behind. So Launceston, 12-13-85. The Tigers, 4 behinds. 5 minutes gone in the final term.
Blake McCulloch clears the area. Nice long kick over to the eastern side of the ground from the contest. Taken by Jamison House. He's wrapped up by Lockie Watt. Spills the ball. Griggs is tackled there. It's going to be a ball up. So I'd like to see a bit of action this last quarter. Just don't want to play out time. Hopefully we'll see something spectacular. Maybe another Elijah Reardon mark. We'll wait and see. Here's Dakin now. Kicks inside 50. Over the back there's McCulloch. But taking the mark is Riley. Came from nowhere. And he was facing the goals. And McCulloch looked like he had it covered there. And Riley just jumped up and took it pretty much out of his hands. I think Riley got it first. But it was going to be a 50-50 ball. And Riley did it pretty well. And he's going to line up directly in front. About 10 out. And this will be his 4th goal. Dylan Riley, 4 goals. 4 goals Riley, 4 goals Thorpe, and now 13 goals for Launceston. 13, 14, 92 to 4 behinds, 4 points. And geez, a jack in the box in here, just a classy player on the forward line.
He's just a fantastic footballer to watch, Davey. I mean, we've seen him years ago with Devonport being the everyman for the Magpies, spending a lot of time in the midfield, but at Launceston he's able to play as a forward where his cat-like ability to land on his feet and to soar into the air has been on full display, and I think he's really the perfect foil for a guy like Mitch Thorpe in that attacking 50, and as seen today, 4 goals for both of them. Launceston have really had all the answers as the ball back in the middle. Gardner just runs past it. Dakin and Lovell in pursuit. Lovell over the top of him. Gardner able to get his hands on the football. Harper strips Lovell of it as he tries to get it again, but Jared Dakin lays the tackle. Another stoppage inside the centre square. 7 minutes gone. 88 points the difference. The Tigers yet to kick a goal in this contest. rinse and repeat. Another stoppage about 5 metres closer to the centre circle. Auckland and Gardner once again decisively down from Auckland. The ball goes to half forward. Perhaps a bit clumsy there from Marcus Davies. The umpire agrees. Alec Wright gets a push in the back for a kick, but Davies smothers the ball, just hacks it inside 50, looking for Will Campbell. Sticks one juke up, unable to bring it in. Dives on the football. Luke Graham's there for support. Jamison House is there for the Blues, laying the tackle, and we'll have a stoppage.
Talked a lot about the Blues forward line, but the Blues back line has been rock solid today.
Yep, absolutely. Again, I think the Blues have allowed that with their dominance around the midfield stoppage area, but when it has gone in the Tigers forward 50, the Blues have had all the answers.
Clifford, quick kick, a chance here for Campbell. He can't quite take the mark on his fingertips. Spills out of bounds. They're deep in the forward line now for the Tigers. Margin 88 points. Here at Twin Ovals earlier today, the under-18s, Launceston by 56, and in the Development League, Launceston by 9. Tap down comes to Dakin, who kicks it quickly towards defensive 50. A couple of Launceston players spoil each other. Chance therefore for Duggan. His little kick's a good one to Lovell, who takes a mark on the boundary in front of Dakin on this occasion. So Kieran Lovell, this is a tough shot, the toughest of tough shots. He's about 45 out, right on the boundary line. Backs against the fence as he starts his run in. Lovell centres it nicely. Is it going to drift back in? Just across the face. Nearly a mark, but it's spilt through for a behind. 5 behinds now to Kingborough. And Launceston 13 at 14.92. Jake Smith is about to bring the ball back in. You got a score for us, Anthony?
Well, just a moment for you, Dave.
No worries. Jake Smith kicks outside defensive 50. Bit of a wrestle over there. Jamison House. Spills to Hodge. He might be happy to see it over the boundary line. He is.
So North Hobart still leading Lauderdale at North Hobart Oval, 29-18. Last score I've got was 6 minutes into the third quarter.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to bring this up for Tiger fans, but the lowest score for the Tigers in TSL history, 2-2-14 against the Blues in round 14 of 2014.
Right.
So the fact we're 9.5 into the last quarter.
I'll need to get a wriggle on to keep that record intact. His House now takes it from the back of the contest. Kick up the wing. Taken nicely by Jake Hines, who's been impressive today. Wheels and goes. Inside 50, Thorpe front position. Marks beautifully. Handball's off. Chance now for Musica. Evades a tackle, but he doesn't quite get the handball he wanted. Has to go back in a second time. Great defence here by the Tigers. And there's a player caught high. The Tigers player. That's George O'Neill. And he'll take the free kick deep in defence for the Tigers. Thanks to our sponsors. Your locally owned Telstra stores, Brisbane Street Mall, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows. You're with Anthony Osborne on City Park Radio on the TSL live stream.
So O'Neill was thinking about switching the football, opts instead to drive the ball down the line. Paul Freeman is able to pick up the loose ball and an up and under inside 50. Never was going to be marked, but the Tigers still under the pump. Bailey Gordon showing a little bit of dash across half back as he drives the ball inside the centre circle. Will Campbell unable to complete the transaction, but still able to pick the ball up. Good to see him back at the TSL level. Lockie Watt under the pump, handball over the top, but the Blues have the answers as they have had all day as Grant Holt drives the ball towards half forward. Mitch Thorpe's in pursuit with Jared Drew. High tackle, I would have thought. The umpire agrees. Thorpe just stamping his authority on the game there, and he's going to take all the time in the world to help Jared Drew up.
He's got to knock there, Thorpe. He's very slow to get up.
Thought he might have been a bit groggy there as well. It was a heavy impact when he laid the tackle.
Trainer's come out. He's waving away. Says he's all right.
So Jared Drew just strolls a couple of metres and looks in the Cooper Sorty direction. Harper claimed that it was a mark. The umpire didn't agree. Harper quickly draws the ball to half forward in the Riley direction. He brings it down to ground level. Hines just kicks into space, and now it's a foot race. Alec Wright against Marcus Davies. Davies under the pump, searching for the boundary line. Did he kick that out of bounds on the full?
Yep, he did.
And he did. So Alec Wright just put enough pressure on Marcus Davies. In the end, a bit clumsily it must be said, kicks the ball off the ground, out of bounds on the full. So Alec Wright tucked into the pocket. He's going to run around, try and snap this ball through. Davies puts the pressure on. The ball's on track for a minor score. So it was always going to be a little bit too far. Alec Wright kicks it behind. Launceston 13-15-93. Kingborough 5 behinds. 12 minutes gone in this last quarter.
Okay, from defence, Jared Drew plays on straight away. We've got about 10 minutes left in this game. No goals as yet in this. Oh, sorry, one goal so far in this last quarter. As it's going to be another ball up. There's Dylan Riley kicking the only goal of quarter number 4. It's been a beautiful day here at the Twin Ovals and hardly any wind, which has been fantastic for our commentary position up here. As met in the tackle there is Blake McCulloch. In fact, it's Bailey Gordon.
Interesting, the flip side of that stat earlier about the Tigers' lowest score. It's also the lowest score conceded by the Blues in a TSL game. So
there you go. Gee, you've looked up the records, and I'm very impressed with your effort there.
I did leave you by yourself for a little bit there. I thought I'd better bring something to the table.
All right. That's okay. And so once again, we've got that lovely view down the Derwent in the background for our stream viewers. So calm out there today. As Auckland, big fist, you must hear that in FX mic. Out of Musica has been lively. On the left foot, inside 50. Chance here for Hines. Bounces onto his chest. Can he break free? He does. He gets over to Taylor. Gets rid of it straight away towards Hodge. Well worked out there though by the Tigers. Up here towards Sordy. Meets the ball. Handball backwards. Chance now for Clifford. Out here towards Dygan. Oh, he cops a high one there from Jamison House. And you get the free kick. Digger is the call. Young Sam Dygan takes his time. Now goes short. Nice little kick.
Great kick.
Yep, finds his target there in Tyler Cardo. Wheels and goes on the left. Up here towards Reardon. He takes it. Not as spectacular as last week, but a very good mark indeed, right in front. And he's got a chance to put through the Tigers' first goal. And a warm round of applause there as that grab was taken.
I really like that ball from Sam Dygan into Tyler Carter, just changing up the angle a little bit. Carter then quickly able to go and just allow Reardon a bit of space. And as you said, maybe not as spectacular as last week, but a great mark nonetheless.
Elijah Reardon, 20 out, directly in front for the Tigers first. Here it is. He's done it. That's a goal to the Tigers. Umpire says full points, and Elijah Reardon puts them on the board today, and some lovely cheers there from the Tiger supporters on the far side in the grandstand. 1-5-11 to 13-15-93. And, fine mark. Good passage of play by the Tigers.
Absolutely, yeah. Elijah Reardon able to hit the scoreboard. We've seen him spend a fair bit of time down back today. It's be a new role for this season, but able to go forward and hit the scoreboard. Just a little bit of a scruffle happening in the forward 50 there between Jake Smith and Tyler Carter, two players who don't mind getting involved in a little bit of a scrap here and there.
So Mitch Thorpe seems to be all right. I thought he was off for a moment, but he's right up in the goal square. You don't often see him dancing around in the goal square there, but he was just doing a bit of a run around, so he's fine.
So scrubby ball from Joby Harper towards half forward. Tigers with the numbers. Duggan to the broadcast wing. Lockie Griggs and Grant Holt in a 1v1 battle. Who's going to be the winner? Lockie Griggs by the looks of it, but Grant Holt does well just to hold things up. In the end, he does so illegally with a trip. Lockie Watt takes the advantage, drives the ball inside 50 looking for Graham, who's perhaps drawn the high. Yes, he has. So the Tigers, couple of forward 50 entries here. Luke Graham tucked up in the pocket. He's a sort of player who would be able to pull something off from this pocket, but he's tucked up against the boundary, a similar spot to where Kieran Lovell was having a shot for goal earlier in the quarter.
What was that lowest score, Anthony?
2-2-14.
Right, here it is.
So Luke Graham tucked in the pocket. He's going to go the drop punt. It's a good-looking kick from Luke Graham. Does not miss. The degree of difficulty was incredibly high, but Luke Graham makes no mistake. And the Tigers, they move to 2-5-17, and they do avoid their lowest score in the TSL of 2-2-14 that was registered way back in 2014 against the Blues. So 2-5-17 plays 13-15-93, 16 and a half gone in the final term.
I heard Damien Gill and Cam Brown talking last week about Luke Graham being a really underrated player, and I agree with that. I mean, he's had limited opportunities today. They haven't had a lot of inside 50s, but gee, he can do that sort of mercurial effort time after time. Can Luke Graham? He was in the TSL Team of the Year.
He was, back in 2018, I want to say. 3 goals last week as well. Missed a fair bit of footy last year through injury and suspension, but he's with a team that hasn't had a real focal point for a lot of years. He's been one of their key forwards. Obviously got the likes of Tyler Carter down there now, but he's an integral part of that unit.
In the middle, Auckland gets it towards Dakin and Lovell, the two number 20s. What a great battle that's been today. Dakin inside 50. McCulloch does well, but over the back, Jack Donnellan sharks it and kicks another one for the Blues. That quick ball movement we talked about today, right down the middle from Auckland to Dakin. Blake McCulloch got himself in a good position, but he just couldn't quite clear the area, and just cruising in the background there was Jack Donnellan. He kicks himself his first goal.
It's been really handy today, Jack Donnellan.
Yep.
Late inclusion.
And it just shows you the depth of Launceston, doesn't he? He was omitted from last week, and he comes in today and he plays well.
Update from North Hobart Oval. The Demons 47, Southern Bombers 18. That's 15 into the third quarter. So North Hobart up and about at the moment.
So in the middle of the twin ovals it is. So had some good action the last 3 or 4 minutes. A couple of nice goals from the Tigers, and then a good flowing goal there from the Blues as they go forward again, or they try to. And what was that, a throw? Let me see. No, holding the man. So it's going to be a free kick to that man again, Jared Dakin. He's been pretty serviceable today, no doubt about it. He's had the big job on Lovell. He's had a bit of the pill himself. He's in the centre circles. He's not going to muck around. He's going to go long. He knows he's got the tall timber. Thorpe's in a wrestle there. Over the back there was Riley. Beautiful fist away, though, towards Drew. Drew couldn't find a teammate. We're now at the attacking 50 for Launceston. A lot of players over the ball. So, yeah, good contest at North Hobart, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see North Hobart up and about. They've seen a couple of lean years, and the likes of Garland and Darley leaving, I thought it'd leave a big hole, but they look to have quite an even group at the moment. Bear Robinson doing some good things here at the Twin Ovals. Paul Freeman just drives the ball inside 50. The Tigers, first one's out, but Dylan Riley able to get his hands on the ball. He finds Paul Freeman again, who's met in a strong Godomski tackle, holding the football. A couple of good tackles laid by Godomski in this final quarter. Well, it looks like ball's going to be claimed by Marcus Davies. He's got Lockie Griggs out in the pocket, and that's where he opts to go. Lockie Griggs, as he so often does, gets the ball and just starts to move off his mark. In the end, that one has been smothered quite decisively again. The Tigers still gained a couple of metres, though, as they look to bring the ball down the wing. Elijah Reid and the target. He decides to stop and prop. In the end, lays the tackle. The stoppage, centre wing, eastern side of the Twin Ovals. Auckland wins the tap down. Blues drive the ball inside 50. Target was there. Music unable to get the ball. Donnellan in pursuit now for the Blues. Plenty of bodies around this football. It's about 45 metres out from the Launceston goal. Have another stoppage.
So it's 40 metres out. In the dying minutes of this game, 20 minutes gone, so probably about 2 or 3 at the most to go. 4 goals kicked in this quarter. And around the corner is Harper. This will top off a big day. Riley up against the boundary line. He gets 2. Can't take the mark off hands. Boundary throw in. Riley slow to get up. There's the ball in his mitts, but took it over the line. Weary Riley gets off the ground. There's the boundary umpire throws it in right next to the behind post. Front position Thorpe. Here's Musica. Can't find the handle. Kicked off the ground there. And that was Lockie Clifford. It's out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Yep, well umpired game today. Credit to the umpires. They haven't over umpired. They've let it flow on many occasions. And it's good to see some young umpires out there. Great experience here in the TSL. Maybe going to bigger and better things. As Clifford is tackled by 2. Umpire will ball it up. So I think the interest now is can Launceston get the ton? They're on 99.
One off at the moment. Ball one down by Gardner. And Clifford just kicks the ball up into the air. Only goes about 20 metres. Carter brings the ball down. Harper tries to get the ball going the way of Launceston. In the end, Musica and Smith combine. A good smother laid there by Lockie Griggs. So the ball is just pinballing around at the moment from the wing into the centre square. We'll have a stoppage. Lockie Griggs, some nice desperate work there from him, getting across and laying the smother. So just about 22 minutes gone in this last quarter. The race for the ton is on now for the Blues, and they may just get there as Hines kicks the ball up in the air inside 50, looking for Riley, unable to bring the ball down. The Tigers beset upon as the siren sounds. here at the Twin Ovals. A decisive win for Launceston. They run out 14-15-99 to 2-5-17 winners. A dominant performance from the Blues that was really built on in the dying stages of the opening term, and they were able to just go from strength to strength from there.
Absolutely. You know, the first 10 minutes, mentioned at half-time, it was a bit of an arm wrestle, low scoring, congested, but then there's a couple of quick goals at about the 8-minute mark of that first quarter, and then a succession of goals in that last 10 minutes of the first quarter. Now 6-0 at half-time was always going to be hard for the Tigers to come back from there.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I think when the game was at its hottest, the Blues were able to really capitalise and hit the scoreboard, and then for significant passages in that second quarter and the third quarter, the Tigers, they may have held up okay defensively, but they just weren't able to generate any real attacking opportunities for themselves.
Goal kickers, and we've got a few for Launceston here, 4 each to Thorpe and Riley. Thorpe, I think all his 4 goals were in the first half.
That's right,
yeah. Riley. So yeah, 4 to Thorpe, 4 to Riley, 2 to Hines, 1 each to Denellen, Harper, Musica and Palfreyman. And for the Tigers, 2 goals kicked in the last quarter in the space of a couple of minutes, Elijah Reardon and Luke Graham. Final score, Launceston 14-15-99, the Tigers 2-5-17, a win by 82 points. We'll take a short break from the Twin Ovals. When we come back, we'll check all the stats. We'll have our 3-2-1 and wrap up here from a big win for Launceston. Final score here at the Twin Ovals, and it was Launceston 14-15-99 to Kingborough 2-5-17, and at the other grounds it's North Hobart leading by 30 points and Clarence by 52 points. So after a couple of weeks of close contests, today we've had a few blowouts. All right, guys, we'll do the stats. We'll do the 3-2-1 and we'll wrap up. So first of all, groups, the team stats.
Okay, team stats for the game. 38 hitouts to the Tigers and 61 to Launceston. So Auckland really had a dominant display today again. Clearances, 21 to the Tigers, 45 to the Blues over the day. Inside 50s, then obviously Launceston won out there 50 to 20. Marks inside 50, 3 for the Tigers, 2 there in the last quarter, and 17 all up for the day for the Blues. And free kicks, 16 to the Tigers and 12 to Launceston.
Okay, when you look at those stats there, Anthony, obviously the engine room once again was the ruck. You know, Auckland winning lots of taps there, and the clearance, double the clearances.
Yeah, absolutely paints the picture, and that's where the contest was always going to be won. The Blues able to get first use out of the middle and then just move the ball forward quickly and give every opportunity to their real plethora of options in attacking 50 as well.
Once again, compliments of Damien Donnelly and Darren Lovell, the Launceston stats men. What do you got for us there as far as the Blues are concerned?
Yeah, no real surprises. Joby Harper, 36 disposals, so he finished the game with another 9 in the last quarter. So that was 36 disposals, 6 marks, 4 tackles, dominant performance from him. Jay Blackberry and Jared Dakin, both with 18 touches each. Brody Palfreyman with 16, Thorpe and Tyrrell with 15 apiece as well. Also interesting to see, Tim Auckland 11 disposals and 9 tackles to go with his dominant performance as a tap ruckman as well.
Yeah, fantastic. And don't forget they've got Hamish Leadham, who they can't quite fit in, and he was one of the best ruckmen in the league last year. So, big Auckland is doing a manful job there for the Blues.
Certainly is.
Anything else for us there from the stat sheet?
The only other one, really, 75 tackles listed from Launceston. So again, obviously the stats as they come live are usually a pretty good indicator, so I think it'd be pretty close to that in the end. And the way the game unfolded, it looked like the Blues would have laid a similar amount to that as well. That's a huge number.
So a dominant performance there from the Blues today, winning by that big margin of 82 points. So drum roll as we get to your 3, 2 and 1, Anthony. What do you got for us?
Thanks for giving me the heads up in the second half there, Dave. But no, plenty of players that could have featured all without any great surprises being in blue jumpers. The one vote have actually, in the end, gone with Tim Auckland. I thought his performance, both as the tap ruckman but also laying tackles and getting his hands on the football, was really impressive. Could have also given that to a player like a Jay Blackberry or a Brody Palfreyman or a Jared Dakin, but ended up going with Auckland. 2 votes to Mitch Thorpe, 4 goals from him, all in the first half, but he actually set up 2 or 3 in that third quarter and was again impressive in the last quarter as well. And when the game was there to be won late in that first quarter, he kicked those 2 goals that really set the ball rolling, and no real surprises from the call today that Joby Harper has picked up the 3 votes, as we've just touched on there. Pretty well the perfect game from a midfielder when you're getting 36 disposals, 6 marks, 24 of those disposals being kicks. He's had 4 tackles, 23 contested possessions. It's really the ultimate game of football with a goal as well. So Joby Harper just keeps going from strength to strength and has certainly laid a claim to, if he's not the best player in the competition, he's certainly in the conversation.
I've seen him play some great games over the time, but today was really outstanding, and he controlled that game from start to finish. Great. That's a 3, 2 and 1 there from Anthony Osborne. 3 to Harper, 2 to Thorpe, 1 to Auckland. Well, it's about time to wrap up here. There's not too much more we can say, except Launceston are looking very good in season 2028.
Absolutely. It's great to have footy back, and I think the Blues are very happy that it's back as well after a real breakthrough performance last weekend. They were able to back it up with another strong, impressive showing today. Don't forget, next week we'll be at Windsor Park for Launceston versus Lauderdale. And our coverage there, I think, will begin at 5 to 2. So that'll be a pretty interesting game. Lauderdale will be stung by today's performance. Looks like they're going to go down to North Hobart at the home of football there at the North Hobart Oval. So that will be a big game next week. Thanks very much to the Tigers Football Club for hosting us here today. We've gone to a lot of preparation to get our spot here. It's been fantastic. Great place to call footy. Thanks to Rob, who's been on the camera today and assisting with the stream. Same with Ashley. Thanks to Dave Gruber, our stats guy. We'll enjoy the trip home, big fella.
Yeah, back on the highway and see if we can bring the Hawks home.
That's right. We'll see how we go. And Anthony, you'll be joining us through the season for our Hobart game. So we'll see you in a few weeks.
No, looking forward to it, Dave. Thank you. It's always a pleasure. And hopefully we get a nice close contest next time as well.
Absolutely. And thanks to Chris back in the studio for getting us to air here this afternoon. That's pretty much it here from the Twin Ovals. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage on the stream and also via City Park Radio. The final score, Launceston 14-15-99, defeated the Tigers 2-5-17. Bye for now.